He's munching on some fruit and then he'll be back. Someone said that. Yo, what's up, chat? I wasn't munching on fruit.
Yo,
Let me pull out these headphones so I don't have this bulky shit on me.
like the live, everyone.
The joke didn't fly over my head, obviously. Obviously, I got the joke.
Okay, I fixed it.
Can you guys hear Peyton? Wait, I can just
What was
see.
that? Why do you consume toxic seed oil, bro? Toxic seed water. I got some Italian sparkling. Thank you.
Okay, we can hear.
Are my mic levels good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, bet.
Why am I going back and forth on cooked versus raw? I don't really. I just eat both. I enjoy eating both. Helps me
Yeah,
eat
that's
more.
valid. He's just not a LARPer like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
You think most like the raw guys like don't mostly eat raw?
No, they probably do, but it's like the cult mentality that keeps them into it. Especially those guys who say that vegetable juices help them like stick to raw. No idea why that would be. There's no reason for it. But it's just like
Yeah, that's weird.
their commitment. It's obviously just their commitment to it, which is helping them stick to it.
Bro, it's just oxalate maxing. That's like autogenous thing, right? Juicing like veggies and do you have an appetite for raw meat?
Yeah. I don't think the oxalate content is that high in. Oh, with carrots it would be, but with celery, no. But still, like the idea behind it is so stupid, right? Because you're trying to make your body more alkaline, so you crave more meat. You can't even do that. Your blood pH is highly regulated. It's like 7.35 to 7.45.
Yeah.
You can't change that by what you eat.
Nothing's changing your stomach acid pH. Yeah.
No. Your blood pH. Your blood pH. You can change your
Well,
stomach
yeah, it's not
acid.
getting through that though.
Yeah,
Right, but
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's gonna like, yeah,
Yeah.
the rate limiting step or whatever. That's like with the enzymes and like raw honey and stuff. Like most of that stuff's just destroyed in your stomach. Like,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
most people in this community have no idea about any kind of nuance. So they just go off like they go off blanket statements like raw milk has growth hormones in it. The enzymes are denatured in like pasteurized milk. They don't understand that enzymes die in the stomach acid, and same with the the growth factors in milk. Like
Yeah.
drinking 5 liters of raw milk a day every 5 minutes is not going to make you grow tall. That's going to stunt your growth because your insulin is chronically elevated.
Is it the same with like the lactoferrin and stuff?
Dude, the lactoferrin claims are so stupid. From what I've seen, it's like it binds iron, helps transport minerals. That's the only thing that I think is valid. The other things is like it's antimicrobial or like helps with immune signaling. It doesn't really.
Well, why would antimicrobial be good?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. Especially consuming it.
They said about honey too, but honey is antibacterial. I mean, it's like it's going to kill any bacteria that's in it. You're not really getting appreciable like amounts of organisms. That's why it's used for wounds and stuff because it repels and like kills bacteria.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it never goes bad either. Dude, have you ever had like the chocolate liver, like the super old, like rotten
The chocolate
fermented liver?
liver. What?
Yeah, they said it tastes like chocolate. You crave chocolate, you just want raw liver.
It's because of the very high copper content.
Oh, for real.
Well, that's why it tastes similar. That's the only reason it would.
So cocoa tastes like copper.
Yeah. It's very high in copper, I'm pretty sure. Dudes be touching their hair 24/7. Is Haagen-Dazs primal? Honestly, Haagen-Dazs, I tried it a few times, gave me acne, and I think like people complain about it being sugar, like Randall cycle, whatever. But I think what's worse is the A1 dairy, um, rather than the sugar, because it's
So
like
that's worse than the refined sugar.
I think so, at least for me. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you think that ice cream for bears is anabolic?
isn't it A1 dairy as well? Like it's the same shit, just raw honey instead of cane sugar.
I don't. I don't know. I thought it was. I know it's vat pasteurized, which is like the lowest heat. Um, maybe it's A1.
Yeah, they
So
don't
you
say it's
react to
Jersey.
like regular dairy?
Yeah, big time.
Shit.
Like I can drink A2 pasteurized and be fine, but with any kind of A1, it doesn't work for me.
Dude, Loki though, Loki like the A2 still be messing with my stomach, even though like it's A2. I don't know. I just don't handle like milk very well. Maybe
Fair
it's the
enough.
lactase probably or lactose. Yeah. Did you know most Asians can't handle milk very well? Like they
Yeah,
don't have the
they don't
lactase
have they
persistence.
don't have lactose resistance. Yeah.
Somebody was saying though it's more like what you're exposed to rather than genetic predisposition. So like if you're just like if you keep consuming milk during your childhood, you'll keep that enzyme for longer. I don't know if that's true.
No, I don't think it's true, because
It's genetic.
I think it is genetic. Yeah, because I don't know. But what's interesting is the lactase persistence gene um didn't really become a thing. Didn't really evolve until like the Iron Age. So it was like a few thousand years of us consuming dairy before it actually happened. Likely because
It's
we
mostly
were
like Europeans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Likely because we were having like cheeses and yogurts before instead of fresh milk.
Yeah, I do better with cheese than I do just milk. Like,
Okay, then
I
it's
don't know.
probably
Cheese is
lactase,
fine.
probably a lactose problem then. Yeah,
Yeah. But do you consume cheese on the daily? Like what kind?
not daily. Um,
Not daily.
if I have cheese, it's like goat's or sheep's cheese because no other cheese is like A2.
Mm.
But it sucks because I can't really find raw. If I wanted raw, I would have to like waste some of my good fresh milk and ferment it and make it stinky and then wait like three
But if it's
weeks.
A1 raw, is that better?
Nah, at least not for me.
Nah.
Nah.
Mm. Have you had like the ones from the store like shoot, I'm totally blanking on the name. Gruyere, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
I've had Gruyere. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't do too well for me.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah,
I rock with that one. And like Parmigiano Reggiano.
I like it. I do like it. It's just
Yeah.
I eat too much at one time and then I get really gassy after. So I
Dude, goat
just
products, like they get some hate, but they're fire. Like the milk tastes so good, to be honest.
yeah,
I handle it better too. Yeah.
yeah, of course. It's a little bit less lactose, a little bit. It's always A2 protein, so that's probably why.
Mm. I was reading the chat here.
Someone said something about Wolf's Law. I don't understand what.
What they're referring to. I'm
Yeah, I don't know.
gonna pull it up.
I remember last year I get sick in carnivore, no sugar, no carbs. My thyroid's sick. Fuck goes. I feel like a dad. Interesting. Let me pull chat up on screen. This is funny. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with you, but
Oh, so Wolf's Law is just the bones adapt to the loads placed upon it. So if you stress your bone, it gets more dense.
yeah, more dense. Yeah, not more modeled. It doesn't work for
Oh, it's just like the freaking look smashing thing, like the
bone
bone smashing.
smashing. Yeah,
This is Collab's principle.
yeah, he's a bit of a retard for promoting that. I don't know if he actually believes it or not.
I respect Baby Sickly more.
Yeah, I like Baby Sickly. You know Mason Jinfu.
I think so.
Oh, okay. He's like he's like that raw meat guy who changes eye color. You've definitely seen
I think I
him.
saw a picture.
Yeah, he met Baby Sickly like a few times. He's good friends with him. He said he's like a good guy.
Oh shoot, okay.
Actually, if I put chat on the screen, it's gonna be blocking our cameras to shit. Wait, let me just make it hella small.
Can't do that. They're gonna see our beautiful faces.
Yeah, I'll just put like the tiniest bit of chat, like that much. Yeah, and then how's that?
theseedoilbro is actually Unk and Degen. It's called a college education.
Actually, Unk and Degen.
Nugent.
Eugen. Okay.
Degen.
Bro, wait, Peyton, what is your diet like? Tell me. Like, what do you eat daily?
I try to eat as close to just red meat as I can. It's there's so many factors in life that get in the way of super strict adherence, but like I don't know, the more control I get over my life, like the easier it is. But yeah, so just like mostly just like ribeyes. I eat a lot of butter actually. Um, I sometimes, like on the occasion, will do like blueberries. I buy organic, even if it doesn't really matter that much. Because you can have like, dude, you can have like hundreds of blueberries and it's still like under 40 grams of carbs. Like they're pretty low carb. I think it's pretty like indicated historically.
Yeah, nice.
What about you?
Yeah, basically, we'll just eat beef and lamb mostly, and like raw milk daily, usually like a liter.
Hmm.
But low key, it like stops me from getting lean, so. Because I don't go to the gym right now. I'm waiting till I get a car. I'm gonna get a car like this or next week, like 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna like get a gym membership and go like every couple days. But the milk is low key like keeping me fat. So
Yeah, that's definitely keeping you out of like ketosis or like lipolysis heavy.
well, I have it with the meal usually, or like close to the meal, and I fast like 18 hours, and then I have like a 6 hour eating window.
That's fire.
But yeah, I think it's
That
just
autophagy maxing.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, autophagy is law. Um, yeah, dude, we need more
Yeah, I did
people.
a video talking about like trying to live to like 140, and so like not eating all day is probably the best for that. It's like eating as much of your food close to each other as you can. People are like, "This has got to be some kind of joke." It's like autophagy is you don't want to constantly be in an anabolic and catabolic state. Your metabolism is the net effects of anabolism and catabolism. So if you're constantly if constantly both are active, that's not very like beneficial. It's kind of counterintuitive. So you want most of the day to be catabolism, the other half, or when you're eating, then anabolism. But you want to separate the processes. I think it's the best biologically.
Yeah, exactly. Can you guys hear my music in the background? I didn't even realize there was music playing.
No, I can't.
The EMF, bro. You can't on the stream.
EMF, bro. I don't. I'm not a big like. I'm not convinced about all that as much. I think that there's certain things you can do to limit exposure, but you're literally constantly being bombarded with EMFs every day, and there's not much you can do about it.
Dude,
So I could lock myself.
the first thing you could do is stop using the AirPods. That would be the
I guess I
biggest
don't got
thing.
them in all day though. I mean,
Yeah, at least
I don't
there's
know. Yeah,
that.
I guess you're right.
But like, if you think about it, yeah, we're constantly bombarded with EMFs right now. There's literally zero radio frequency coming from my entire setup in my whole house. My phone's on flight mode. My computer's using Ethernet. There's no Bluetooth going on. But then if you've got AirPods
Oh,
in, I don't
nice.
know, even for like an hour, that's like 2.4 gigahertz radiation right next to your brain. And then all I've got right now is just the power from my laptop and all of these devices, which is very low, except the laptop's charging. So maybe I should like, that the most I would do is like come back a little bit. But that's low
You got an
frequency
Ethernet,
radiation as
you got
well.
wired headphones, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth.
Yeah, I don't
But
have
then
Wi-Fi in my
does the
house.
house have
I
Wi-Fi?
don't even have Wi-Fi in
Okay,
my
but
house.
there's still like 5G everywhere, right?
The closest 5G tower is like 2 kilometers away, and
But you could still access it and get pretty much the same speed of
yeah,
internet as you would a Wi-Fi
yeah,
locally.
yeah.
So it's like those waves are still there.
No, no. The
Mm.
thing is, it doesn't send waves. Um, like it's very dependent on how many people are using the one tower for how much it get like how far it goes, and the signal for 5G doesn't actually reach here. I only get 4G down here, but the signal for 5G, at least it's very like it doesn't go very far. That's why it puts out such a high um like concentration of waves because it doesn't go very far. But I only get like 1 bar of 4G down here, so there's very low radiation. And there's a big difference between it being like on your skin or on your head to like a while away, you know. Bro cooked his steak and his brain, yeah.
I didn't
Microwave
think about that.
microwave his brain and then pan fry his steak.
Well, it's speculation, right? I have a friend who's a mitochondrial physiologist. He's a PhD. He's been a carnivore for 4 years, like strict. I mean, he's the strictest guy of anyone I know. He's got like a cellular or like a methylation rate comparable to like Brian Johnson and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He cured his dad's like late stage bone cancer with a cooked carnivore diet. But he's also not, he also doesn't think that the EMF stuff's convincing. He thinks it's kind of like another distraction to like I think like that stuff as well as like I feel like there's a lot of things that are kind of like distractions and there's like higher priority things. But I get what you're saying. I think it's probably better than not to just
Mm.
yeah, to just not to wear wired when you can.
Do you
Yeah.
know the mechanism behind it? How it affects the mitochondria?
All I know is that it makes like it reduces sperm motility in lab settings or something like that.
That's one reason it's bad. But what it does in cells is it floods the um, floods the cell with calcium. So do you know about voltage gated channels?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Again.
like it activates voltage gated channels to a um, very high rate, and then it over floods the cell with calcium and other things, and then it creates like a lot of ROS production.
Ah,
And
oxidative stress
when it does
maximum.
this in the brain, it creates like brain fog and potentially carcinoma, but carcinogenesis. I mean, but even I feel it so much like when if I'm like on my phone and I have it like turned on data or Wi-Fi for like a few hours, I feel like very very dull, very lethargic after a while compared to if I was using like my laptop or something on Ethernet.
Mm. So, like MRIs is what I'm seeing. That's like where the strong evidence is, but they're obviously way more powerful magnetic fields.
Mm.
So I'm just not sure if like it's generalizable to your everyday EMF exposure.
I think it's convincing enough for me to avoid it at least.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I've been in school for a minute now, and it's like when I went to school, bro, I was like, I don't know, I wouldn't touch like a plastic bottle, bro. You know, I don't. I was just like, I got so anal about everything, and I kind of just started backpedaling a little bit because it's like I cannot care. It's like don't let perfection be the enemy of good. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So if you're stressing yourself out too much and you're not doing these other things that are more important, then
yeah,
um, but yeah,
agreed.
you're a you don't know that you're dropout, right?
Mm-hmm. No, they do.
That's fire.
Um, Wondering what to do if you notice sore throat and blocked nose, and what's the cause if it's not germ theory related. Um, yeah, like honestly, all you can do is just support your body while it's detoxing. The interesting thing is, um, the viruses that they talk. I don't know if I'm gonna get the live ban by saying this, but the viruses they talk about causing these illnesses, they can't actually isolate them in a like rigorous method, and that's never been done. So virology is a joke. Um, and back in the Spanish flu, they conducted experiments on humans back before like ethical standards, and they made people cough and spit on people like healthy people, sick people coughed on healthy people to try to see if they could get them sick, and it never happened. Like they repeated it many times, none of them ever got sick. Um, so it's really like doesn't really make sense to think that there's some one contagion going around. Um, and I think that if something like people get sick around each other, right? Like if someone is sick, another person around them will get sick. Like just happened to me and my dad like a couple weeks ago. But um, it's the same thing with women in their periods. Like it's not they're not getting germs. The reason they get their period is not because of a germ.
Hmm.
But their periods sync up after they spend a lot of time with each other, and this could be the same thing. There's this guy called Tom Cowan. You guys should watch some of his stuff. He brought this up, and he theorizes that there's some frequency similar to how women's periods sync up, or some psychological thing which kind of tells the body that it needs to detox because other people are doing it. What do you think about that?
That's I was talking to this like major podcast host. He's like got like one of the top like alternative podcasts, but I made a video about germs and he reached out. He was like, bro, like you got it all backwards. And so we talked for hours about this and he brought those points up.
Mm,
But what I tend to think is that it's a combination of both factors. It's whether, because there's obviously a difference between colonization and infection, because you have all these bacteria that are benign in your body,
yeah.
but one does it become a infection and it's a compromised immune system. So it's like having the strong immunity of just a healthy person is going to prevent most of this. I mean, my friend who's been carnivore for 4 years, he hasn't been sick for 4 years. That's amazing.
Mm,
Um, I still get sick, and but I'm not. I know he lives like the peak, like he lives like the peak healthy life in like Malta. He's like, yeah, he's outside every day. He's on the beach. I mean, he's eating one meal a day. He's like so locked in. But I still do think that like, because like, there's anthrax, right? Bacillus anthracis, which is the bioterrorist attacks in 2001 in the States, and there was like 6 people who died, I believe, in the hospital. But it's like these spores that you can't really see, and they cover the letters with them, and so they send them out in the mail. People receive the letters, they open it up, and then boom, without them even knowing, they're inhaling these spores, which then get into their lungs, and oftentimes they start proliferating. Phagocytes will consume them, so your immune cells, and then they actually release lethal factor, I believe it is, or something, which renders the immune cell like can't even do anything. And so then it just takes over because it's just trumping your immune system at every step.
mm.
And this is like super deadly. But like, this is not, no one denies that anthrax happens if you're exposed to these spores, and that's a bacteria. So
Yeah, but that's you're saying that's bioengineered, right?
I don't think anthrax is. I think anthrax is just, but regardless if it's bioengineered, isn't it still just a bacteria that causes disease?
Well, you could say that. Uh, I mean, you can't really use that for other examples though, like natural forms of bacteria if it's bioengineered. Same with COVID, like
Well,
because
what is COVID?
yeah, what's COVID? I don't know. The SARS virus was engineered in Wuhan, China. There's patents on
The Wu flu.
it.
Uh,
Do people
do you
call it
think that
that?
COVID? Dude, there's I don't know the Wuhan flu,
That's funny.
but do you think that like I mean, there's people in like the germ or the terrain camp theory that doesn't even think that COVID's real. They're like, it's just a big conspiracy, like we landed on the moon and all that.
Honestly, I was thinking that before because it was literally just like a flu, and the main people that died were in hospitals were like 80-year-olds who were already sick, and they even just put people on like COVID wards without them even being tested positive in the first place. Like this is in New York, um, and they just put people on ventilators for no reason and just killed them
Right.
basically. Um, but what makes me think that it is actually bioengineered is the fact that there are patents on the virus, and
And that they
there's
were doing gain
they
of function research
yeah
at that lab.
yeah
Yeah. Well, someone would have cancer, like my ex's like grandma, like years ago, her grandma was dying of cancer or something, and she got COVID and she died, but she was late stage, and then so that's a COVID death. You
yeah
know,
I
it's
know.
like, is that a COVID death? Is that a justification to give like every age group vaccines every single month, or every other month or whatever?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was never. There's no. I mean, say what you want about vaccines, but it's like there was no reason to give kids who had a 99.99 percentage point or you know success rate or survival rate these experimental deals. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a
the reason
virologist
that
or whatever,
they
so
advertised kids to get it was saying that they can pass it on to older people, I think. So it was like protect your
oh
grandma,
yeah,
you know.
and with the mask, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad I don't gotta wear a mask no more.
I never wore it, even at
Nice.
school. Everyone else was wearing it. It was like mandatory, but I got out of it.
All the chop people were wearing it.
Yeah,
When
for
COVID is over for like LTNs, I was trying it.
yeah.
They're like, can I keep wearing it, please? I'm scared. I think though, like the virus, won't being able to isolate viruses, like at least Bart's saying about it was that like it's it doesn't mean that we have to look at what that means, and he doesn't think that that means that they don't exist. It's like we can't like isolate an atom, for instance, or like an electron, but we know through inference that they're there, type of thing.
Yeah, I know that viruses exist, obviously, but the thing is, you can't establish like an actual relationship between the virus and that disease or these symptoms without isolating it first. Because the way they
The
isolate it,
hardcore
right?
terrain theorists.
The way they
Mm.
isolate it now is completely like 0% vigorous at all. I mean, rigorous. There's no rigor in it at all. Um, they did control experiments without the virus and they got the same result. What they do is they take like kidney tissue from monkeys and the they put they put like bovine blood, they put nephrotoxic antibiotics and stuff, and then they add the virus to it or an infected tissue or whatever, and it causes exosomes to break and you see all of this damage, and they claim that's from the virus, but then they do controls without adding the virus and the exact same thing happens.
Mm.
That's what virology is. That's all there is to actually saying that a virus is causing an issue. That's what they did with COVID. That's what they did with measles. That's what they did with all of these things, HIV, etc. All of these things. It was done by that, and it has zero relevance at all because the control group shows the same thing without even the virus.
There was a trial with vaccines where they split the groups up, gave intervention, this dose of the vaccine, and then the control group, nothing, or the placebo. And then, 6 weeks later, they challenged control, or they challenged intervention with the certain amount of whatever it was. They orally inoculated them with it,
Hmm.
and this disease is marked with diarrhea, fever, that sort of stuff. And close to, if not over half of those people got diarrhea, fever, the things that are, it's something to do. It's like I think it was a poop virus, like some kind of bacteria that's found in poop, not E. coli.
Mm-hmm.
But then the group that had the vaccine had 1,000x immunity, or had way more immune cells, and only one of them showed any symptoms when they were inoculated. And I'm like, to me, that seems pretty clear cut. It's like, yeah, they gave them the oral inoculation. They had the immunity from being priorly exposed to it. And half of them didn't get sick because they had the immune system that was strong.
Mm-hmm.
And half of them did not.
Fair.
Or,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see the study. I'd read
Yeah.
it.
Well, another example is when they were giving birth in the like hundreds of years ago in this ward. Half the ward was given, like the moms were their babies were delivered by doctors, and the other half the moms were delivered by midwives. And then whenever a doctor delivered a baby, the mom had like a 50% chance of dying, and the midwives did not. But it was because the doctor was going back to back, mom to mom.
Yeah.
And so when he started washing his hands between, the mortality rates dropped off,
Mm-hmm.
and that seems pretty like, yeah, he obviously washed that he wasn't transferring bacteria from each person.
Yeah. But that kind of sounds like a folk tale though, like a Chinese whisper anecdote there. Or is that actually well
I think
documented?
it's well documented. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really, I mean, people bring up that example a lot. What I hear though is like it was toxic dirt particles, or like I don't think dirt's toxic. I don't think that would explain why they're dying of these massive
Mm.
infections or sepsis.
Yeah. I mean, when you're working with like wounds, for sure there's bacteria that can cause illness because the blood is supposed to be sterile.
Mm. Well, I mean, pregnant, it's births. So is that, I guess they tear open
They
and
do,
they
they
give
do,
birth, which is
they do have wounds. Yeah.
the only animal that happens, right?
Yeah.
You know why
That's
that
funny.
happens?
Not particularly, no.
Well, it's evolution. Our heads got too big. We literally, like, no other animal gets ripped open when they give
Oh,
birth.
it's
But
because of
our
the
heads
head.
have
Okay.
grown disproportionate to our, yeah.
Right, right, okay. Interesting.
And what's interesting too is, like, say what you want about C-sections, but there seems to be a slight positive IQ correlation because their heads aren't like squeezed. Their brains aren't like when
Mm-hmm.
they are passed. So when they're just delivered directly out, they seem to have, it's like a 1.2% IQ increase, but I don't know if that's significant or not.
Okay. It's interesting. I got a C-section. I was C-sectioned.
Oh, really?
I was,
Nice.
I was not born of woman.
Did you have any problems from that though? Like people talk about microbiome issues and stuff like that.
Uh, well, I had eczema growing up, and like when I was a kid, I had eczema, and then obviously I had acne throughout puberty. Still do when I eat shit. So
There's some autoimmune issues, maybe.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's also because of
So
vaccines,
you're
though.
not
But I got a lot less than most people.
really common. So you're not against vaccines. It's like saying, are you against peptides, dude? There's like a million different kinds of vaccines. There's different million different. I mean, I think that there's some efficacy in populations that are sick, and I think that can be attributed pretty well to certain diseases not basically dropping off the earth. But I think that like the COVID vaccine is a completely different animal, and it's not the same thing at all. I mean, a traditional vaccine just works by exposing you to the dead virus, which your body then produces more immune cells, so that has a better response to it when you get it from your environment. And I think that's pretty solid. I don't see a reason why that's intrinsically harmful, um, in a healthy adult or whatever. But
Why wouldn't you just get exposed to it from your environment then? I don't see the logic. There would be hormetic, there would be hormesis from that anyway. What's the difference?
well, it's like, how you build a poison tolerance by like getting little bits of it. Because then when you go out into the environment, what if you're exposed to too much and your immune system just completely gives up and it's just way too much?
Fair enough.
Or hormetic, you said? What does that mean, in the body, or what does that mean?
Hormesis. It's like an
Hormesis.
amount of stress which causes adaptation.
Oh, like working out.
Yeah. Like rather than causing disease or detriment to the body.
Liars, because women have narrow hips, we would ever tear. It's wait, so okay, women have narrow hips. Yes. Another way of saying that is we have big heads.
Yeah, but also just from malnourishment and bad development, women have less like
Oh,
poorly developed bodies.
but I'm pretty sure tearing just happens across the board. It's like it's more rare. It's very rare not to tear.
Mm.
Pain, the argument that our heads were too long is so logical. What animal is supposed to endure that? Causes modern day women have narrow hips, making birth harder. It's hard to say that that would just be across the board like that, because with other species, they just drop right out and they're fine. The birth happens. I mean, imagine if we gave birth in nature. That's like it's such a huge thing. It's such a huge deal. The woman's down for a while. Like other animals just pop right back up. There seems to be something to happen.
Mm.
And I get what you're saying, that hips are narrow, but like, do you think that there's that much of a systemic problem across the entire world that every single woman is being torn open? Like, it seems that other primates don't have this issue because their heads are smaller, but we have we have a disproportionately large head, and that is the part during delivery that rips them open.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems more like it's like two ways of thinking about it. I think the narrow hips thing is a backwards thing. It's like our heads are too big rather than our hips being too wide. My mom, I mean, so many people still have wide hips and they still seem to get, because the vaginal cavity, that size is not, we're talking about vaginas now, but that size is not determined by your hips, right? Like that's still a set, like it's only going to expand so far.
Mm.
It's the flesh that
I think it's
tears.
stupid. People act like humans in nature, so to speak, were like across the board all perfectly developed, when it was more
Yeah.
realistically similar to now, where you have like well developed people at the top and you have poorly developed people as well, because in nature there's starvation, there's famine. You can't always get the food. Only a small amount of people will get the food, only a small amount of the men get the food, and then other people starve, other people eat tubers and grains, whatever. It's like in
No, no, no. My ancestors only ate meat. Like my ancestors were always like 7 foot or like around there, and they ate just like grass fed steaks every day
yeah, yeah. And
and raw milk.
yeah, bro, like if you look at animals in nature, there's always smaller, like weaker animals who don't get the food, and they don't thrive. I think honestly, yeah, maybe it was like a little bit better because you know observing animals in nature, there's not as much variation in development as humans today, because I think we're in a much worse situation now, with health. But
Mm.
like the people
Well,
at the
but like,
top, the chads at the top, it's the same.
didn't humans in nature, didn't they have like a lot of, because we're talking about pre or post agriculture. So it seems like the bone malformities and stuff happens
Pre-agriculture.
after it was post agriculture, right? Because they were getting all their, oh yeah. So pre agriculture is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it just, if they didn't have food availability, then yeah, of course you're getting malnourished, right?
yeah. But we were all born with the ones who won. Yeah, I mean, in a way, but it's not like there's one bloodline where it's literally like meat, 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 7 foot, 7 foot, Chad, Chad, Chad. It was like it fluctuates obviously between generation. There's gonna be famine one
No,
generation. There's
that's
gonna
my
be
ancestry.
okay, bro.
And my dad's 6'8", you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm the shortest. So I'm 6'4", but I'm kind of closer to 6'5", but I'm the
Hmm.
shortest and smallest man in my family.
Wow,
So obviously
that's
the 7 foot
crazy.
thing's not true, but like my cousin's 6'10", Like we come from like Netherlands and like
Mm.
Denmark and stuff, and for some reason we just have like the giant gene.
How do you not tolerate dairy if you're from the Netherlands?
Well, my mom's inferior genes, they got in there, and yeah, so I've got some European and stuff like that. I don't know.
Some European.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean, like other than that, uh, I'm 1% black, but I can't show you that 1% right now. What's your ancestry?
Scottish, Irish, Welsh, and English. So like completely like all the Isles, Anglo-Celt, pure.
Has your family been in like? Does your ancestry go back to when the original colonizers like got to uh, Australia? Or
No, no. I think it's like 5 generations or 4 generations back on my mum's side when we moved to Britain, from England, and
oh,
then on my dad's side, I think it's about the same. Yeah, but my dad's ancestry is like Gaelic from North France because my last name is French. It's not Young, by the way. My last name is French.
it's what?
It's not Young. I'm
Oh,
not saying it, but it's not Young. But it's like French. But the whole ancestry is English, so it's like North French, Germanic kind of
wait, why are
ancestry
you
that
dodging
moved
it?
to England. Because I just don't like to say it online. Like some people know it, but I don't like to. That's why I put my last name as Young because I like to have like my own personal brand and separate it from personal life. You know.
I always like to say young Marcus because you're like 17. It's like young
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Like your rapper name, your SoundCloud name.
Young like YUNGH.
Yeah,
H or
YUNG Marcus,
YUNG. Yeah.
and Marcus ends with a Z. Marcus.
Why don't you go back to that cheap raw milk sauce you went to with Harvey Hookway? Because it's in Queensland. I have to catch a plane to get there.
The AirPods are the other reason you're only 6'4". It's crazy. I don't think I had them in eighth grade, low key though.
When did you stop growing?
It was around eighth grade because I put a little bit of
8th grade.
height on.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I was 6'3", and then I hit 6'4" by high school. Um,
Wow.
yeah. What about you?
Uh, I haven't grown in like 10 months, but I'm 6 foot. I'm gonna get
If you're
growth plates
chilling as long
checked,
as you're nice.
and then if they're open, I'll do
Anything
like
over six
tren.
foot, you're gonna just trim
Yeah.
as soon as the growth plates close.
No, no.
I've done, boys.
If they're open, if they're
We're hopping on
open.
anabolic steroids.
No, if they're open to grow taller.
Does trim make you go taller?
Yeah, paired with HGH.
What?
Yeah, it's the most anabolic, and you don't have to
Oh,
take.
dude, you could
You don't
just
have
get
to
the
take.
surgery, bro.
Fuck the surgery, dude. That's nah. I would
Dude, what's
just.
2 years on the bed?
Yeah. Bro, it's you don't have to take a bunch of ancillaries. Like you do with testosterone, if you just take tren.
Ancillaries, like the test base and stuff.
Um, like you don't have to take eromacin. You don't have to take all these things to support different pathways when you're on high dose tests. I mean, when you are, you have to take a bunch of stuff to support it, but on trend, you don't.
What do we think about SARMs?
And probably cope. I don't know. Probably does nothing. What does Psalms even do?
I
Like
I don't
like
know.
like MK. Like
Yeah. What are
Like
some restrictions for
ghrelin
costs?
agonists. Yeah, nah, that's retarded. That just makes you eat more, dude.
Selective androgen receptor modulators. Oh, that's interesting. So they bind to the same receptors like testosterone acts on, and they stimulate muscle and bone growth more selectively than anabolic steroids.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. How tall are y'all's parents? My mom's 5'7". My dad's 6'8".
Oh, brutal 5'7". Bro, my mom is 5'7" and my dad's 6 foot, so same height as me.
Nice. No, my sister is 6'1", and my little brother is now 6'5" or 6'6". So I'm
Sister
we're getting
6'1",
brain
bro. That's
height
crazy.
mugged.
Is she single?
Yeah, she's holding out for like a 7 foot like NBA player.
No, she can save my bloodline, bro. How
Bro, she
how
should donate her egg. That'd be crazy.
how old is she?
She's 2020. Yeah,
Bit too old.
we're all like a year and a half apart, so I'm 22.
Uncle.
Do you have any brothers?
Yeah, I have one. He's 6.
Is he tall or is he? What's his projection?
He's like average for his age, I think. He had a
It's not bad.
he had a B12 deficiency when he was a kid because um my dad
Was
and
he vegan?
his mom fed him like vegetarian diet for like 6 months.
Dude, that's like actual child abuse.
Yeah, I know. So dumb.
That's how I'd make that a law, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad, but he's recovered. He's like doing better, so it's good. He didn't get any vaccines or um never drank fluoride
Oh
water
no.
or anything.
Nice.
So it's good. Dude, there's
Love
like
it.
no one in here. Is it like a bad time to stream?
Maybe.
What time is it for you?
It's 7 p.m.
Okay.
But it's a Tuesday. I mean, it's just a random weekday, so I wasn't expecting like crazy.
I think last time we did this, we had like 100 people in here.
Yeah, we did, but we were doing like it was like the whole Frost thing.
Yeah, true. It's just random.
Should that? I think we beat that cow dead. I think that's done. Or we could do, reviewing. FaceIQ is no longer carnivore again as a C. Like everybody's behind. See what happens. Chat? What can we do? Are there any videos you want us to watch or
Yeah, we could
things you want
review
us to
some
review?
videos.
Yeah. What do you think? Frost went back to carbs. What do you think about this?
Probably just like hedonism mixed with barley climate.
That's honestly super valid. Hedonism. He keeps telling me like you're going like mark my words, you're going to return to carbs. Like I'm gonna. It's like bro thinks he's the Godfather.
It's funny, bro. I was talking to him yesterday. He
Yeah,
said he was gonna come like Australia. We should plan some IRL content.
dude, fire.
Yeah. Bro, Enzo's YouTube's been doing well recently. The healthiest humans ever recorded. That's a good video. The truth about carbs. Yeah, bro. My YouTube videos have been doing so shit. It's just been random posts though, to be fair. No, not really random, but like they're the worst posts, like, because I was trying to target certain people, but it's like not really hitting. And I think the thumbnails are kind of shit too. Like I was just doing full AI thumbnails and not really like using like the my most recent that I posted last night actually had a good thumbnail because I had used like a proper photo of myself doing the pose and then just added some stuff. But the other one's literally just like a selfie of me and I just use the AI to change it and it looks terrible. It doesn't even look like me. And yeah, dude, these videos are not good, bro. I need to change it up. Need to go
Yeah, your
back to
views I think dropped off a little bit.
yeah, quite a bit. Like it was
Enzo's
peak.
getting pretty
It was
decent.
peak like a month to
Yeah.
2 months ago. Well, yeah, like 2 months
Around the
ago.
FaceIQ thing, you were popping off.
Yeah, that was my last video that did well. It
Mm.
did 25K.
I started doing AI thumbnails on Insta,
Mm-hmm.
and I really rock with it.
AI thumbnails on Insta. What's the point of thumbnails on Insta, dude?
It makes your profile look cool. And like explore page and stuff,
Okay, okay.
they'll click on
Oh
your
yeah, yeah, true.
video. So my explore tab has gone up just a little bit, like the
Okay.
percent that people click through, because
Yeah.
nobody does it. Nobody's doing thumbnails on Insta
Hmm.
or TikTok really.
That's true. Yeah. It's too much effort. Too much
Well,
effort for Insta.
you're about to post it. Send a screenshot to chat. Say 9x16 thumbnail. It'll make it right there based
Hmm.
off of that. And generally, the first time it's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah. I'm giving the sauce out to the audience, so you guys feel free to do what you want with that. Let's just watch body cam footage.
Just be like brain rot streamers.
Oh, bro's going to jail. He definitely had pasteurized milk.
React to Resident Raw, dude. I don't know if I can
Ooh, raw tard.
stand that guy. Raw Tide. Bro, Raw Tide's is goated though. Best
What do you
diet
mean,
tier
like
list?
him?
No, no, Raw Tide's like another guy.
Oh, he's actually?
Yeah, yeah. His proper base, like pretty objective.
Oh, I didn't even know this guy.
Yeah.
How do you say Goatus' other name? Sverins?
Sverige. It's sweet. It's literally just Sweden in Swedish.
Uh, dude, Goatus reaction videos, those do pretty decent.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're probably more still aligned with that, right?
I don't even watch them. They're so boring to me.
Oh, like his videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I started doing like reactions on top of it, and he has it set up so that nobody can download his videos. I mean, he deletes my comments if I leave comments. I can't remix his videos, but I still figure out how to get his raw videos for my reactions. And because I think nobody else is doing reactions to him, they seem to get some attention.
What do you react to him about? All he says is like, it's just repetitive. Like, I wouldn't even be able to react to it.
Yeah. There's a few different things I've got him on. Well, it's like so whatever you want. Like I think raw meat, if you want to eat raw meat, it's great. But like I think most of the benefits you get are also that of cooked steak or like a rare steak.
Yeah.
But so like Goatus, he's trying to say that like there is not a shred of evidence that we've ever cooked our food, and nothing counts as evidence. And so I just was like, hey, look, we have these bones which we reasonably know are 700,000 years old, and the bone marks are only consistent with a slow burning fire, and they're fish bones. So it's like, why would they be out in the wilderness anyway? And so it's like all these little pieces that like seem like, okay, I think some of us were cooking our food for a little while, and I think that's why we can synthesize heat-sensitive nutrients like
Like
taurine
taurine.
that other carnivores can't.
Yeah. Yeah, the honestly, I stopped talking about nutrient loss from meat, cooking a while ago, but the only main concern for me is with AGEs and lipid peroxidation. Like I actually feel worse with cooked meat, not acutely, but I feel like chronic inflammation on my face. Like I have very small little blemishes from cooked meat. Like when I did 3 weeks only cooked meat, and I didn't get massive breakouts, but I had like small little inflamed parts on my face, and I think that's probably because of like lipid oxidation and the glycation of the meat while cooking. And even though like a lot of it's destroyed in the stomach acid, you absorb like 30% of it overall.
I don't think it's that high.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, it was like
Of the lipid peroxides or the AGs? Because I think the AGs are mostly just excreted.
AGs.
Well, I mean, why would it let you? Why would it let those pass through to the bloodstream? You know, so you have two rate limiting steps, like your what you absorb in the kidney or your intestines, and then what's excreted by your kidneys. And it seems that it's like a fraction of a percent after those two processes. But
Oh yeah,
I mean,
but the thing is, even when it goes through the liver, it can signal chronic like systemic inflammation before it's absorbed, even if it's not absorbed. Like even if it's not
uh,
let through and it's still detox, it still signals inflammation.
I just tend to think that like the arguments are mostly against like overcooked meat, you know, because it's like obviously if you overcook your meat, then yeah, but like a rare steak is going to have virtually the exact same benefits as a raw steak.
For nutrients, yeah. But even if you just sear it, like you get a lot of lipid oxidation and AGs there.
Yeah, but again, they're saturated fats, so they're going to be way more resistant to it. And you have an
It's
antioxidant
like
system for a reason. I think
it's like
that's
45% saturated beef fat. So obviously it's better than cooking like fish or like olive oil, but it's still there. Like, it still exists.
yeah. But I wonder if maybe we have more of a tolerance for that level because of our exposure to it and the nature. Because I think that there are definitely some evolutionary adaptations that have occurred to like be able to specifically tolerate cooked meat over other animals, even like cats.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't know.
probably probably to some extent. Yeah, I still eat cooked meat though,
Yeah, what's
but
up,
yeah,
Ross?
I just try to keep most of my diet raw, and that's where I feel the best.
Cooking was used as a tool to colon. No way people think we only eat raw meat for all of human history. Yeah. Every reason to cook meat essentially while you will still survive. It's not from what lens of what's best. Well, like we've talked about protein denaturation, it's like even if it's mechanistic, it's very clearly unfolding the protein, you know, pre-digesting the food, allowing for more of it to be digested quicker while exerting less energy. So I think energetically it's favorable to maybe denature some of the proteins. I think that's a potential upside. Regardless of net protein absorption, it's still less calories to digest cooked meat. And why spend more calories digesting it? I don't know.
More calories, more ATP.
Well, I mean, yeah, energy. Yeah.
Joking. Chocolate IQ wants to join the call.
I,
Just look at chat, bro.
let chocolate IQ in the call.
Yeah, yeah. Should we? We'll join him. We'll let him join. I'll call in this group chat we have with him. He just said he wants to join, and then he denied the call. Tough.
Yo,
Yo, what's up? Bro, this nigga did not join.
he's shy. Just give him a second.
Yeah.
Is that your coaching whiteboard in the back?
Yeah, I don't even use it. I installed it to make videos and I made one video with it and it flopped, so I just don't use it anymore. I just put my like to-do list on it and it keeps me more productive.
You're using it for YouTube videos now. I gotta get into the YouTube stuff. Think about remaking like the viral clips as just like full length YouTube videos and seeing what they do.
Yeah, you should.
Humans are not designed to eat plants. That always does well. Oh, this is kind of unrelated, but have you seen the Lego scandal recently with like bricks and minifigs?
No, what?
Oh, the drama is so crazy. It's mostly in the States, but it's like an entire police force in a town working with like the Mormons to cover up something. And so they're like doing everything but like planting heroin on these kids to try to arrest them for no reason, just to stop them from uncovering this thing. It's crazy. It's like the whole, you should look it up. It's like if you go to Hype, it's like trending on YouTube everywhere, all the videos about it.
Okay, wait. What does it have to do with Lego though?
Because it was a Lego store that bought this man's Lego Star Wars collection. It's worth $200,000. It's his like lifelong savings.
Okay.
And then the store changed hands, and the new owner is denying that they bought it or that they have it or whatever. Because the agreement was that they were going to sell it for them for some profit. But now they're just like, I don't know anything, guys. Screw
Oh,
off.
okay. Right.
That's the most valuable Lego collection in the States. Creaky ass chair. My bad.
No, it's
Made
mine,
con
bro.
suppression. Oh. Is Frost gonna join or?
I don't know, Jet. My camera died? I think my camera died. I put in the battery.
I still see you.
You still see me?
Yeah.
Oh, on the stream, yeah, because it's delayed.
Well, on the call.
Oh, I have a
on the
different.
light.
I think I put a different face cam on the call. Probably have my laptop camera.
Who's MDMA IQ? What the?
Nah, it's because Frost is doing hella ecstasy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what
dude,
he
that
said.
stuff's, you gotta do that once a season, bro. If you do that closer than like a few months apart,
Yeah, I know.
that cooks your serotonin.
Yeah, we did in Bali. We went and club. No, look, he felt like hella depressed next 2 weeks.
Bro, fallacious naturalism. He's pissed that I didn't respond to his DM on Instagram, and so he's trying to rage bait me.
EMF radiation.
Oh yeah, dude. You said you were hella depressed, like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a month or so. Like it's bad.
Yeah, it was like a week or two for me. Give him a sec. His
You probably
blood
did it
sugar
once.
needs to calm down. No, he needs to. He's just refueling it right now.
He's getting some insulin right now.
Yeah. It's like my dad. Whenever we're about to do something like around the house, he's just like, "Oh, I've got low blood sugar. I need to eat. Just give me a sec."
Dude, imagine being like constrained by your blood sugar 24/7.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Wait, fallacious naturalism. I'm trying to find your DM. As you said, it's on Insta. What is your? I can't even find your account. Bro, my grandma's dying of brain. blood brain and lymphoma cancer. Sorry, bro. Reached out to theseedoilbro and he ghosted me. Where did you reach out, bro? Like I said, I have over like 100 unopened DMs easily. Is it my message request? There's Eric. He's from New York. Raw meat and cigars healthier than raw meat and fruit. That's interesting.
That's what Frost said like 2 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, mouth cancer, right? So that's the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's probably from shredded sages.
Nah, he doesn't think it's boost test. He just liked tobacco. He just said it was like less deleterious than fruit. He was telling me when he was in Bali, he was eating a lot of sugar and he would feel the inflammation on his face, but also from smoking apparently.
Sugar inflames me every time.
I don't feel very different eating sugar. Like if it's fruit, um, like once a day.
It's the best source.
What?
It's the best source, but it's like, I mean, I got
Oh,
banned on Instagram for saying this, but I was like slamming drugs is better than or is worse than eating drugs. It's like that's, I mean, risk mitigation, right? Cedo, bro. Yeah, I'm from the USA. I'm on the West Coast. How can I message you when you blocked me? I blocked you, cuh? What were you saying? Well, I don't block people lightly, bro. Oh yeah, the dark side. I'm getting exposed right now.
thoughts on
Thoughts
chemtrails
on chemtrails
poisoning the
poisoning?
air so rain and sunlight isn't optimal anymore? Sunlight? It doesn't affect sunlight. Well, I guess it blocks it to some extent, but the rain, yeah, acid rain is pretty bad. Um, it's poisoning
Does that
the
happen?
land. Nah, I'm just saying, like, it gets rained down, all the heavy metals.
Who's
Poison.
that? Who's that guy on Instagram? He went somewhere. He like mogs really hard. Shoot, but he was like taking a video of someone. He's like, I forget that places there are places where chemtrails don't exist, and the skies are just like clear. And I was like, it's interesting.
Don't know.
What's shoot? Oh, Selenart.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
That guy. He's cool.
Yeah, I like him.
Life after realizing that countries without contrails actually do exist. I just do they also not have an airport? That'd be a good question to ask. It's like my mom works the airlines here, and we see the planes taking off, and they're not, special. I don't think they're special government operation planes, but they also leave trails. So it's like, how do you tell the difference?
Well, the trail fades very quickly behind it. Thoughts on EJ
They're the
Health?
ones
Who's
that they
that?
do.
Who's EJ
Oh,
Health?
he's on TikTok. He like streams with Kit, I think, and like Inso.
Nah, I'm joking. It's just an inside joke we have.
Oh, uh, I haven't spoken to him, but he seems cool.
Mm.
Waking up in the middle of the night and eating honey to blunt gluconeogenesis. Good job, bro. You're not, yeah. No glucagon exists in your body.
That's crazy. Eating sugar in the middle of the night is crazy. You're just blocking any kind of ketosis that you have, any kind of autophagy. Boys, you want to see the car I'm getting? I'm getting a Nissan Maxima. It's a V6.
Oh, me too.
What do you mean, me too?
I can't see.
Oh, wait.
I got the lower cam.
You got the lower cam.
Oh yeah, fire.
It's a
V6.
yeah, it's a 3.5 liter.
Can't beat me my V8 though.
Yeah, what V8?
Tahoe.
Hmm?
The Chevy Tahoe.
Oh yeah. Not a Holden Commodore. Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, it's an Aussie only car. Those who know.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, hey.
Hey Frost.
Good. How are
I
you
can
guys?
hear the nature in the background.
Yeah, I have some maids cleaning. You can hear them.
W.
Yeah. Life is good. What's good?
Not much.
Just chilling.
How's
Bro.
have you
Dead
eaten some
live
carbs
stream.
today?
Wait, sorry, what's up?
I just said we're just chilling. It's kind of a dead live stream.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we need a topic, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Seedoil, actually I'm gonna call you Peyton, bro.
What's up?
What leads you to cook meat?
What leads me to cook meat?
Yeah, over raw.
Well, my claim is that raw meat's not going to provide any appreciable health benefits over cooked meat.
Okay. So like, let's say you had to
It's,
pick what's healthier, would you pick cooked or raw?
again, I don't think there's any appreciable health benefits given you're not overcooking your food. But like a rare steak, for instance, I don't think there's
So
any measurable difference at
so it's
all.
sort of like the less cooking is better?
Uh, if you overcook your food, then it's bad.
So the
But there's
process
a
of cooking is inherently harmful, but a rare steak
no,
is
the
good
process
because you're
of,
leaving it raw.
do you realize that overcooking destroys it?
Yeah, but that's like
So when you say
Like,
overcooking is
let me address
arbitrary.
it. When we say overcooking, like you're just referring to cooking the entire piece of meat throughout, right? Or you mean like charring?
cooking it dark, like past well
So
done,
let's say we did like sous vide or whatever, a method
like
where we
setting it
could
on fire.
like let's say we could perfectly cook the steak well done without charring the outside. Is that equivalent to raw or the same? Yeah.
Equivalent, like, in
Like
what
for let's say
sense?
optimal health, right? Like the main things we're looking
Because
for.
ratios are different. You have to, I mean, you got to consume slightly more cooked meat. That's been shown in breeding trials.
You
I
have to
think because
But
like
consume less.
yeah,
I think when I hear you talk about this topic, I think you're kind of being like contrarian.
also.
Like I think I don't know. I think you're bothered by people saying raw is better. It seems because like I think the things point to not cooking as being superior. I would say most
Well, it's the
mechanisms.
question of whether, like, moderation, whether some cooking is going to be appreciably harmful. And I don't think that's the case. I think there's a level of cooking which is not going to provide any appreciable negative effects over raw meat. And I think that
But
there's
when you look
literally
at
like,
health from that perspective, we kind of say, well, a cigarette every 3 months probably won't give any negative
Yeah.
health effects. But if we want to look at what's best, we want to reverse engineer it. You know, like
so, okay. So
You see what I mean? So like that's actually a lot of the way like Bart K, a lot of carnivores are like, there's less nutrients. They're like, well, prove we need any more. It's like, sure,
Mm.
but it's also like there's pretty good arguments why you would probably want more, and actually in the
do you
ratio of
realize
the
that?
animal that was alive.
Mhm. So you're exerting more energy to digest like raw meat. You're
Because there's more
like
protein
we're
left
one of
before
the
destruction. I mean, yeah.
we're well because it's doing part of the step for you that you would have to do. I think enzymatically,
Yeah,
but
the
so protein naturation
denaturation,
helps.
yeah, I'll give you that one,
Mm,
right? But we also
yeah,
have to look
right.
at, even from a cost perspective, if you're cooking your meat, and I mean, the thing with rare is kind of a cope because it's mostly raw. If you're actually significantly cooking your meat, then you're destroying, 15 to 20% of the amino
I
acids you're
despise
buying.
like like well done
Why?
meat,
That's cooking.
bro. Again, I think to me that's probably overcooking.
Overcooking.
But
It's an
so
interesting thing. I think the take would make more sense
you
to
know
say
that we're one
raw
of the
is
few
better.
carnivores that, but we can synthesize heat sensitive nutrients like taurine. And so like your camp like always cites Pottinger's cats, but they can't
Well, yeah,
synthesize
that's a retarded argument.
um,
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I agree.
stuff
That's
that's
not
Dude, I've always said
analogous.
that's like from the agenist, like anti-science. Can it even be observed? Like GOTUS people.
Mm.
like
Like I'm not.
posy
I'm
in
not.
that study.
Yeah, the Pottinger's cat is stupid because there's also another amino acid they can synthesize, or they can't. I think it's carnitine, I believe.
Mm.
So
Okay, so that's not your yeah.
no, that's not
Fair
my
enough.
reasoning. I would just say, like, let's look at overall. You have also a thing with carnivores. A lot of them cook in butter, and that actually oxidizes the cholesterol, which I think is an issue, which I don't hear talked about. So if you are gonna cook, I think butter is off the table. But anyway, I'd say the overall mechanisms, if we look at what would lead us to optimal health, I would say no cooking at all is ideal,
Yeah.
like with muscle meat and organs, I
Do
would say.
you do think there's an appreciable difference?
I would say what's interesting is I would say from the mechanisms that if you are searing your meat, there shouldn't be, but there intuitively and in n equals ones, there seems to be some health benefit to not cooking at all. As Marcus said with his skin, and even intuitively, like when you look at your plate of raw meat, I actually see kind of a health element that I can't put my finger on compared to like the greasy, seared, oxidized fat in a steak. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
But like, how could he prove that to me if I don't have the same experience?
he couldn't. There's some Chads that can eat Pop Tarts all day with glass
Mm.
skin. It's like, what can you prove to them?
So I'm
So,
the genetic anomaly. I mean, there's several like cooked carnivores who like are able to reverse. I mean, my friend, he's been carnivore for 4 years. He's a PhD mitochondrial physiologist. He worked with Bart K to help reverse his dad's late stage bone cancer, and he eats strictly cooked meat, also including ground beef, slow cooked. He has the slowest methylation rate of anybody other than I think Brian Johnson. But he lives in well, he visited Bali recently, but he lives in Malta. But he's like the prime human. I mean, he studies this stuff for like a decade, but he doesn't. He always cooks his meat. He doesn't see it. He says there's no appreciable difference. He thinks it's gross. He also tends to think that we've been cooking meat for a reason, and it's
well,
not
I can't
harmful to
lie.
us.
Listen. This is like an appeal to authority. I don't know who this guy is. I don't care if he's been in a lab for 90 years.
Yeah,
You know.
but I mean,
So
he's super healthy, though. You know what I mean? And so it's like using Marcus's example of his anecdote, right? Because I have a million more on the other
I
way
think
that
I
shows no
think
difference
this
at all.
I think that line of
He's super
logic
healthy.
was not. I don't think that's the best point. I think I wouldn't try. Well, here's the thing with health, right? This is the whole paradigm I think that was brought out by carnivore, is it's like we choose this cooked carnivore specifically. They need to be quiet. Um, we choose this stance, and then it's like you have to prove us wrong. But in health, if you have that mindset, you'll never learn and grow because you can always make them prove something and they won't have the evidence that's sufficient. You have to look at it from an open mind. And I think doing so,
Yeah,
looking at cooking versus raw, I think raw is clear to me to be.
But so if somebody doesn't have an issue with cooked meat, do you say that they should be consuming raw meat?
If they don't have an issue. No, I don't think that's a good
Yeah,
criteria.
just
It's like if they don't have an issue with eating sourdough bread, I probably would say they still shouldn't, you know?
they will though, and that's demonstrable. With
Not everyone.
Let's say they don't. Let's say they have no health symptomology from eating sourdough.
Well, I'm saying the intrinsic health effects of eating carbs. Just in general. I mean, you can measure how much the hormones are changing, how much your blood sugar is changing, insulin, suppressing lipolysis, glucagon, all that stuff. But with
those
raw
things
meat
are
versus
harms?
cooked meat, you measure. I mean, there's nothing you can measure that would show any difference.
You can show markers of inflammation.
There's no
like,
hard.
Well, it's sort of like
I'd like to see that.
were you about to say there's no hard health outcome data?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about, right? There's also no hard health outcome data showing that cooked isn't detrimental, right? So that's not like relevant.
but again, you're saying if somebody doesn't have an issue with it, and then you're trying to say, well, it could be, but it's like, well, why do we have any reason to think otherwise? Is we don't, you know.
I would say this topic isn't necessarily about what someone should even do. Like, let's say they have optimal health with cooked meat, then yeah, no reason to change. I'm just saying that's irrelevant to what we could speculate would probably be a little bit better,
Yeah,
which I would say would
agreed.
be not cooking.
Yeah.
My criteria generally, is it historically indicated? Does it lead to nutrient deficiencies? Does it lead to positive
one
health
second.
outcomes across the?
Hey. Oh yeah, no, this room is cool. Yeah, thank you. Let me think. Wait, let me lock back in.
But like
So-
again, historically indicated.
So
not
again,
nutrient
so
deficiencies.
even that frame of, well, it won't give nutrient deficiencies, that's looking at defending cooked meat rather than what's best. So
what qualifies a nutrient deficiency? Like a lot of people who eat plant-based diets, so like the average diet won't see like nutrient deficiencies on a blood test. So you can't really say. Like, cooked
Well,
meat
I think the
doesn't.
symptomology is pretty clear with plant-based people. I think that's enough.
And some
Generally,
I
pretty
think
skinny
the
and
thing is, like, the fact that a lot of people advocate for cooking it rare, I think that's implying that the raw part is the best, and then it's like, we'll just cook it less. Right? So like, I think you've already acknowledged it is superior.
I think that's what we did historically. I don't think we
Oh, this
made
is another
ground
huge
beef.
thing I wanted to touch on, is this historical thing. It's like,
Right.
so with the one second. So with the evolutionary biology piece, evolution is a two-way street. So there are things we've been doing that we now need, like I would say eating meat. But then there are also things we can now do that could actually move our species more forward. Sort of like the first person to eat meat, that wasn't what they were adapted to eating, but it actually gave them an excess of energy to propagate a bigger brain. You know, it's like the expensive tissue hypothesis.
Do you believe that
Which specific thing?
about the brain size and calorie availability?
The expensive tissue hypothesis, I would say, does seem real. Yeah.
And do you think that we have an adaptation, any amount of adaptation to cooked meat?
I would say, yeah, like we can clearly eat it. Same way we can eat raw. I would say that the point is, even if people, like, let's say people were even misled into cooking, let's say people cooked meat for, let's say, 100,000 years, and then they went back to eating raw meat. If raw meat inherently is a better source of the things we need, that would actually be a positive step in evolution to stop cooking. It's sort of like, let me give you an example. So with bonobos, they honestly didn't have that much fruit most of their speciation, yet the more fruit with sugar they consume, the bigger their brains are. So it's a new intervention. It's the expensive tissue hypothesis.
That's an association, right?
Yeah, it's extremely associated, though, of
So
course.
where are you drawing the causal risk inference?
Why I didn't say it was, if you eat this, you get
said
X result.
You were making a causal inference.
I was making an observation. So, for
Okay.
example,
You didn't say X is associated with Y. You said
so
eating more sugar.
I'll reframe it. When observed bonobos that ate more fruit, their offspring that also ate more fruit along with it had larger brains, and it was extremely correlated. So more sugar and less fermentation, they had more energy surplus, bigger brains. And that was brought out. So that's
Okay.
an example of introducing a kind of more of a new food group that they're not adapted to, that actually gave them a chance to move forward evolutionarily and rely less on fermentation of plants. So that's an
I think there's
example of, no, yeah, go on.
a major thing we're missing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we're all just. I'm not in the terrain anti-germ theory camp. I think that your immune system plays a huge role, and that the strength of the immune system is directly, causally, responsible for whether you get sick or not. Like compromised immune system. But then the bacteria, their role is still to proliferate, and that is their That's their evolutionary mechanism, and this has been demonstrated in humans with Bacillus anthracis, like anthrax. Several like ward trials, stuff like that, with oral inoculation. And I think that so generally, there's another thing. Most people only have access to store bought shit beef. You know what I mean? There's a reason steak tartare is only made from the inside cuts, because these surface areas where the potentially harmful pathogens are contained. And so buying grain-fed, pre-cut meat and eating it raw, I don't think
Okay,
that's.
wait.
I think
Okay,
that's a higher
so
risk than cooked meat.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think this is a new topic. My point was,
Well, it's relevant, pertinent to the issue.
yeah, that's like applicability. I was talking about more philosophy. Like a big thing in
Okay.
the cooked meat sphere is like we've been cooking for 700,000 years. Therefore, it's ideal. The thing is, my example was bonobos haven't been eating a ton of sugar for a lot of their speciation.
I see what you're saying.
Yet
Yeah.
when we introduce a new element that they're not adapted to, we can see stark increases in their physiology. It's sort of like if you
Sure.
went to an Inuit person and let's say you introduced, I'm not saying this would happen, let's say you introduced some fruits and you gave, or even more food, you get my point, you gave something they weren't adapted to, you gave them more sun, you could actually see greater outcomes even though they're not adapted to it, if that makes
Well,
sense.
but it's interesting that you bring that up, because most people then would follow that up with Pottinger's cats. Because that is not clearly the case with humans. I mean, we've so many cooked carnivores who are in amazing shape, just like amazing shape. And those same applies to the raw, and both reverse cancer, both have all these autoimmune condition healing benefits. And it's like, where's the difference? It's like the only
I don't think
appreciable
I addressed
difference
what I
is when you're
said.
overcooking.
Yeah, but I don't
Well,
think
but
you addressed
I get it. I get what you're saying. It's like this is clearly beneficial, even though it's not historically indicated. But it's like this is not the case with raw meat. There is no. I mean, there's so many people who that just doesn't make a difference, and to them, their adherence to the diet is much better. Like, I mean, Marcus, you told me, you said like, right, you started to cook a little bit more. Like, that helps with the taste and stuff, and you're not destroying most of the
Okay.
nutrients in the inside or whatever. You know what I mean, according to
Yeah.
you. But yeah,
Well,
so it's like more
firstly, so
beneficial
again, it
than
wasn't
not.
about that example because I actually question the narrative that we've been consistently cooking for like a million years or whatever. I question
Sure,
that.
that's a whole
My
issue.
my whole thing is, I do you recognize that evolution is a two-way street? That what we've been doing does shape requirements, but then we can actually introduce new elements that we haven't been doing and get better outcomes
Yeah,
than we ever had. That's kind of
absolutely.
what I'm pointing at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's science, bro. I mean, that's
Yeah.
modern.
So that's like my example, like even if we had been cooking for 700,000 years, even if we had, it doesn't solidify that cooking is ideal, because we could then stop cooking and that actually could be energetically superior for our species, theoretically. And then that could actually start evolving us even further, in theory. Like
Yeah.
evolution is, yeah. So just to make sure we're on the same page.
Well, and it's not comparable, but it is the same basis that people use to say seed oils are good for you, because well, we didn't eat it, but yeah, it's still what we ate doesn't necessarily indicate what's best for us, and that's not logically unsound. I mean, that is
Yeah.
consistent, but again, then where? Okay, so that's logically possible. It's not contradictory, but then where do we see this? Like, where's the
Yeah. The mechanisms don't,
where's the
yeah,
difference?
with seed oils, I would say the mechanisms point to every
But it's all the outcome
introduction to
data,
them
you know what I
being
mean?
bad.
That
You
they,
know, yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely.
So, but with
Yeah.
raw, you know, I would say the mechanisms point to it being superior holistically overall.
Yeah.
And I think the
But
same. Uh, I think about the same thing with sugar as well with humans, but I know you guys are very opposite.
That's all right.
yeah,
Wait, have you been on the diet like long enough to notice anything differently? Like, or you wouldn't say because of your other issues?
Well, yeah, my health is not in a good place right now,
Yeah.
for other circumstances, but I've been eating sugar, I guess, for like 4 months at this point,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4 months. And I mean, I think I would attribute a lot of the benefits just to being able to eat enough food. Um,
Okay.
because I'm nearly, I think I'm 198 cm, so I have to eat a lot.
Mm.
And with just raw fat and raw butter or raw meat, it was pretty hard.
Okay. How much
That's
were
one
you
thing.
eating?
So I was eating about 180 grams of protein, and I was eating, upwards of 200 grams of fat.
Mm-hmm.
I was tracking. I was doing the 1 meal per day. I was doing those things.
I think I actually eat more than that.
What, you eat more?
I think
Anything about nutrition science
yeah.
at all? What would be more appealing to you? Let's say you needed like 800 more calories, quote unquote.
Mm.
Would it be eating a stick of butter or eating an assortment of fruit? What would you prefer?
I prefer Coke over both of those things.
Well,
But
yeah, fruit over a stick of butter, but honestly, I'd prefer like another steak.
Some
Like,
more protein to fill in that.
well, not only
Requirement.
protein, like a steak with like a lot of fat on it, like a balance of flavors and everything. Like,
you,
like just eating butter
That's
by itself
I
is
mean,
not.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
But like,
so
so
like you'd
that's the
always,
thing though. On carnivore, especially when you have more food requirement, your protein, you're gonna kind of reach that. Most steaks are pretty lean. You're gonna kind of reach that, even with a ribeye, you're gonna reach that pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like,
everybody's pretty close to 1-to-1 though. That's
yeah, but
like
even
ideal.
even 1 to 1, that'd put me at 180 grams of fat, 180 grams of protein. At my size, I need more
Yeah.
fat than that. So then you're kind of left.
Why?
Because that would be.
Are you hungry at the end of the day? Or like,
Well, that's the thing. I was full, but I was losing weight still.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at it from a calorie perspective. So
how do you know what your
if we
natural
use,
like set point is though?
now I can eat like 3,000 calories, so to speak, a day, but a bit more. But with fat, that would be, 1,600 calories of fat from 180 grams of fat. So then I'd need like, another stick of butter on top of that. But
When you were talking about like hitting the protein goal, is that just like what you're saying? Everything above this level is just not like adding any benefit, and it's just going into sugar, or what? Like gluconeogenesis?
I didn't really like on, carnivore, I didn't really like track my macros like that. But yeah, I would say it seems like when you get over 1.2 grams of protein per pound, then you get some protein, ammonia byproducts. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
try
think the
to-
Ammonia.
ceiling's that low.
Ammonia. It's like
I think our
always.
ammonia handling's
It's like
better.
always giving ammonium as a byproduct, though.
Yeah, urea cycle.
Yeah, no,
is
there's like
pretty
some
effective.
protein oxidation I've seen at like 1.2 grams per
Oh,
pound.
okay.
Yeah. So like I think that's
Do you
why
realize that
the
we
bar
always
K,
though like, but we always ate carbs when they're available to us, but we
that would
were
be
not
most of it.
responsible for moderating it. Nature was.
Well,
Do
yeah, I
you
mean,
like agree with that point?
for 99.9% of history, they were always
And so
available.
you're talking necessarily about a supra physiologic or supernatural, historically indicated dose. You're making the same argument that you did
Well,
with
I'd have
the
to challenge that.
sugar and the bonobos, right?
Well, I'd actually have to challenge that because, you should look at this article from Denise Minger about prehistoric fruits. and there were lots that one fruit could have 200 grams of carbs in one fruit, and that was available all year round. Like the sour sop, the monkey orange. Like the monkey orange is 3 pounds naturally.
It's like in one specific region, right? And then you're
Well, in
competing with
Africa,
every
where
other thing, like all the things that live in the trees. Then that's what they eat primarily is the frugivores, and we're on the ground. And it's like there's so much competition, there's so much selection.
but
I mean,
and
I think that's
even
around
doesn't
if I
mean it's
were
more
to
available.
even if
like,
I were to grant you that, it would still be indicating that our natural senses were desiring that fuel source. So in a modern day, where
Again, we have a natural, yes, we like always eat carbs when they're available, but we have an overabundance, and that's where the chronic issues appear.
I mean, do you have an overabundance of meat? Like, are you going and hunting the meat you eat?
No, because I don't eat past satiety with meat. I mean, sugar, I don't really have a satiety. I can just throw it back all day.
for us, so I did
Yeah, but you're not moving enough to eat the meat, right? It's like, it's the same thing. Also, your meat has been bred by man, It's like, these arguments are kind of about all food.
I
There's
did
no
the
appreciable difference.
calculation with the protein. So 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight for me would be like around 200 grams of protein. That's like, think that's
Yeah, I
like,
would say it's probably the upper end of what you'd want to be eating, in my opinion. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I don't really know. I don't know about the protein oxidation or anything. So that's kind of what I eat.
Yeah,
like-
so for example, there's this fruit called the jungle sop, which was a 30-pound wild fruit, and it had just as much sugar as modern fruits. There's 30 pounds. So
Okay.
that's a good example. And mind you, for out of the 4.5 million years of humans, only 40,000 years ago we went to Europe. Only 17,000 years ago we went to Americas. We were in a tropical environment for 99% of our speciation,
Okay.
where there were 30-pound fruits, naturally sweet, occurring. And honey,
And like, but where were we?
Africa.
I mean, do we have a?
Bro.
But are we tree climbers? Are we
Yeah,
naturally?
100%.
Are we native to trees, or is it pretty clear that we're meant for long distance hunting by design?
Meant for. I mean, I
I
would
mean,
say our hands are
Do you know this
actually-
movement? This movement
not-
is
well, it's not
unique to
either or.
humans.
Yeah, it's not either or.
And
We
this is
obviously
like
were hunting too. But yeah, what's
Yeah.
interesting with our hands is actually you are able.
You know how
to
vicious monkeys are,
utilize-
though. Why would we be climbing somewhere that like would get torn apart? We're not very good at, or we're just.
You
I
know,
mean,
there
it's
are
clear
many
that.
risks associated with hunting animals too. By the way, I would say that
Yeah,
is
of
actually
course.
more dangerous.
I think saying that
actually
we're
not.
not very good at climbing. It's like saying we're not very good at flying. Like we have airplanes that can help us fly to other countries. That doesn't like we're better at flying than any other animal, really.
I think
Yeah, I'm talking
actually
about what we ate, though.
if we're looking at, from that argument, fruit is actually something we were able to eat without having to make a tool. So that'd actually almost be more innate to our. Obviously, you should be hunting too, though. But yeah, that's the whole like narrative. Like Anthony Shafee kind of bases his ancestral diet based on people crossing an ice bridge 20,000 years ago.
Do you
It's
wonder
like,
like why none of those fruits exist now, or like?
well, they do. Like the monkey orange does
I mean,
exist.
Okay, but
Yeah.
none of the fruits we see now existed, and there's like speculation as to how
Well,
abundant they
actually,
were
they
in
do.
what
What you're
regions and
thinking
stuff.
of is more temperate climates, like the crab apple versus the modern apple. So
Right.
in non-tropical climates, we did have to make the fruits far sweeter. But in the tropical climates, there's actually many fruits that were naturally very sweet, which is something carnivores leave out conveniently, like the jungle sop.
Do you think that that's? I mean, we're white, right? 'Cause we all went to northern regions, and that was an adaptation that occurred over tens of thousands of years, as well as the lower carbohydrate abundance. And so, I think everybody agrees here that equatorial people have a better tolerance for carbohydrate, but it seems clear that most of us white people were not consuming, because that's why we're white. I mean,
Well,
those
I mean,
people that
even
live
in
down
the
there
isotopes-
look completely different.
Well, even the isotopes, a lot of them are, 20% of the protein was from tubers, which implies a decent amount of carbs from tubers consistently. It's one thing. And secondly, again, I would argue that moving away from the equator was a misstep. And I think the fact we had to get lighter skin shows that there was more lack and not abundance in that environment, right? We had to kind of tone down our melanin to even get enough sun. You know, so
Hold on. You said the isotopes showed 20% of the protein was from tubers. Which isotope is that? Because I know that carbon isotopes show like where
I think it's just the N15. Like that's the one
the
that
nitrogen
sites is like 80 to 100% meat, but that a lot of them were like 80 of the percent of the protein. And again, you know, the isotopes are only looking at the protein.
How does that show that it's from tubers rather than meat though? Because it would just show like the amount of protein, right? It's just the protein, the metabolism byproduct. It's just ammonium. So no.
Yeah, so I honestly don't even. It's just the nitrogen amount. Like when they're looking at the collagen, so 80% of it was animal, and then 20% of it was like root vegetable, and then there were some cases where it was 99% animal as well.
I'm not sure. Yeah, so you're not talking about like the Neanderthals in Europe.
No, I'm talking about the ones like, well, this, remember, there are not really any Neanderthals, or sorry, there were Neanderthals. There were not really any Homo sapiens in the cold areas until about 40,000 years ago.
But we also share ancestry with them. Right?
With the
With
Neanderthals that migrated northern sooner, they actually were hunted and killed by the Homo sapiens. Because the Homo sapiens
Suspected.
came out of Africa.
It's not a hypothesis, right?
No,
Another idea is that we bred with them.
we can trace that the Homo sapiens came out of Africa about 300,000 years ago.
Well, no,
Then
but we hunted all the Neanderthals to death.
Yeah. So the Neanderthals, they went up to Africa, I think, or up to Europe about 200,000 years ago. And then eventually, when the Homo sapiens that came out of Africa, they went up to Europe, they found those Neanderthals living there, and then they killed them. This is my understanding. But the point is, so for 99.9% out of those 4.5 million years, we were in a tropical climate with sweet fruits year-round, with honey year-round. So I think the extrapolation of a one-size-fits-all prescription of diet to not have carbs, like the cooked carnivores, that's not ancestral at all, I would say. Far from it.
And you're arguing like past, like obviously since we migrated and our skin colors changed and everything, right?
Yeah, and I mean our skin color changing for the sun, I don't think would perhaps be very relevant to like what's optimal in terms of how much carbs to eat.
All I'm saying that just as a marker of how much change has happened and how.
Well, by that logic,
availability.
right? Humans got to America 17,000 years ago. Agriculture has been a thing for 12,000 years. So by that logic, we'd be then even more adapted to agriculture than living in America.
Do
So,
we see physical changes from that long ago? Like
yeah, we
adaptations that
see,
occurred?
yeah, like lactose persistence.
That was
That's not,
5,000
I
years
mean,
ago.
Yeah, so even sooner, that's selecting for sugar being absorbed 5,000 years ago when we had access.
but there's reason to think that that's more just whether you consume it.
Yeah, I
whether
mean
you're young or
that's
not.
that's
You
also
just
just
keep
a
consuming it.
survival pressure, right? Like when people don't have meat to eat, they it's like it's better for them to be able to consume
Yeah.
milk fresh.
I think lactase persistence is kind of a good look that I think humans have kind of evolved or adapted to this living off the farm. Like you have eggs, you have milk, you may have some fruit trees, things like that. I kind of actually see that as being the up-to-date way humans have lived, many humans. But yeah, I think with the ancestral point, when you actually look at these millions of years with things like, let me get the names correct. It's actually a good article on this. The jungle sop, that's the very important fruit because it can be 12 to 30 pounds and have, hundreds of grams of carbs. I think over 1,000 in certain cases, naturally. So, I think I'm not saying you have to eat 300 grams of carbs a day, but I think that if you want to be ancestral, most humans were definitely having it, probably about 100 grams of carbs a day. It's just a guess, but
Right,
maybe
to
more.
guess.
Like in what
You know,
time
they've-
period? Are you talking about?
4.5 million to 40,000 years ago.
Okay. Oh, like in the tropics, right? Okay.
Yeah. And then the whole local and seasonal thing, it's like my argument is there are certain environments that are inherently less healthy, like the Arctic Circle example.
I agree there, but honestly, I like temperate climates more than tropics. Like when I was in Bali, the humidity was like, oh fuck, get me out of here. It's like I can't even sleep without the
Yeah,
aircon on blasting for like 3 hours beforehand because it doesn't even get below like 20 degrees, 25 degrees at night.
yeah, I understand that. It's definitely preferable in like the wet season or not the dry season. But yeah, and then I mean, so I would say like Peyton, like what does point you to a no carb approach?
Well, trophic levels are a big thing, obviously, and I mean, I'm not sure what you're referring to. It shows it's mostly from tubers, because it seems comparable to other carnivores, which means we're consuming that much meat, right? And so, what other proportion of our diet can come from? Well, and obviously that's in Europe, right? So our carbohydrate availability wouldn't even come from there to begin with. Um, but what reason do we have to think that is this? Are we arguing from plausibility, or are we arguing
So
from
so
like?
I'm just because I'm just curious the general framework that leads to zero carb. So it's ancestral, I suppose. Is that like the main point?
Well, ancestral is something that kind of guides us to looking in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
But uh, like all the processes happening in the body. I mean, what is your? I know we talked about fructose a lot, and that's a fine point. But what about glucose, right? Are you talking about only chronically elevated blood sugar? Is that because it seems like your blood sugar is going to be elevated all day, consuming 400 grams of carbs a day, right?
Well, I think
And would you
you
say
answered
there's
my
not more
question with a new
glycation?
question. So I was just
Okay.
asking
Well,
what pointed. So like you have a perspective, and it seems that it's landed on just eating, meat. And I would say from the ancestral approach, yeah, we 100% got, almost all of our protein. It was clearly preferable to be getting our protein from animals. Of course, I'm on the same page. And we would definitely be eating some animal fat. But, if we're looking at where we came out of for all of that time on near the equator with year-round honey and fruits, and again,
right.
many of those fruits naturally had sugar because other animals were selecting for the more sugary fruits. I just don't see where do we go to zero carb, if even from an
I
ancestral
again, we
lens.
said this last time. I'm not zero carb. I don't think Marcus is either. But the
How much
difference between
carbs should
40
someone eat
and
per day?
40 to 100 and 400 is a large deal. And all the five carbs we were consuming was always paired with fiber, which is necessarily more satiating, even if it's just stretching your stomach out, and it's taking up more of the just the amount you can physically eat. I don't think availability means that,
You're
or
you're
like
saying you're not
plausibility means
zero
availability.
carb, but I have to. I think your Instagram like reels actually give off the impression that you are. I would say.
I've said it a few times. I
But
think
like
that
I
we
think.
like you said with the
Mm,
How many
well,
carbs do you think you should
you
eat, Peyton?
yeah.
I think like somewhat arbitrarily, it seems that over 40, under 40, there doesn't seem to be much appreciable issue because there's not much like blood sugar suppression or like gluconeogenesis suppression, for instance. And
So
I
even
don't
that
think that's
lens
a.
is that's how much you can eat without harm. So why would you eat them at all?
So that's exactly why from the Instagram, I argue from what's optimal. And you have a good point about you're saying that, if raw meat is more optimal, then we should, argue for raw meat. But my whole thing is that like the reason we don't argue for raw meat, why I don't argue for raw meat, besides like bacteria and stuff, is that most people that's just not there's not an appreciable difference. And for most people, that's going to harm their success and their adherence rather
Okay,
than
well I
not.
want to talk about optimal diet. So what's the optimal amount of carbs someone should eat?
Optimal zero. Yeah,
Okay, so
definitely.
see there. So
110%
from an
zero.
ancestral lens, I think it can be implied, liver actually has a decent amount of carbs. If people eat those, eat the liver, blood will have some carbs. Even the meat will have some carbs. And then on top of
You're
that,
talking about a
again,
few grams.
yeah, and then on top of that, And you know, with the Inuit, they got 15% of their calories from carbs from the fresh meat. Paul Saladino actually has a good article on that. They were never in ketosis. That's for a different reason. But point is, in the tropics, considering year-round honey, year-round fruit that was sweet, some of it, and that was where we evolved for 99% of our human history. So from an ancestral approach, it wasn't zero carb. So then what leads you to be zero carb,
Yeah.
to be optimal?
Again, like, while the natural diet points us in the right direction, we can still see, okay, what's unnecessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
understand
any
that.
amount of carbohydrate is necessarily unnecessary
I mean, so
because you
saturated fat's unnecessary too. You can synthesize all the saturated
because you
fat in mono.
synthesize it.
Yeah, so that's
Sure, but
unnecessary.
where else are we then? No, it's not unnecessary because you die if you don't consume our animal fats.
That's not
The
true.
only other option is seed oils, which are never available.
No, yeah, but the requirement for dietary saturated fat for survival is also zero. And by
Okay,
the way,
wait, if you replace it with carbs, then you're fine.
if we want to go
You're not gonna
with,
die.
if we're going to frame a diet on what's required, I think this is the worst argument. Not more than, 20 grams of protein is required. So why do we eat more than that? I mean, that's a very bad point, I would say.
Where's that from?
That's how much essential amino acids we need. It's about 13 to 20 per day.
Is there benefit past that amount? Would you say?
Yeah, I would say there is. Same with
Yeah.
sugar, past zero.
And but protein's demonstrable, and carbohydrate it does not seem to be the case. To me,
Why?
it seems like you're still exposing yourself to more glycation than you would otherwise. You're just cutting off your main fuel source, obviously, because you're not able to tap into fat anymore. There's so many benefits of high the glucagon insulin ratio and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Glucagon's
it's like
really good
with
at lowering
exogenous
metabolic rate.
dopamine
Yeah.
suppressing your own. You consume something that stimulates dopamine or artificial dopamine, then
Yeah,
you're
fat,
almost.
just like fat
But
and
at the
protein
same
also
time,
do.
a small amount is an appreciable suppression. So with carbs, I mean, there's
Yeah.
a small amount that's probably not going to have an appreciable difference.
Yeah, so we'll walk through those points. With glycation, I mean, what's pretty comical about glycation is that, that's a huge carnivore thing, is like minimizing glycation. Then you have all these carnivores eating like 12 eggs, eating sometimes pork, fish, and PUFA is producing a million times more AGEs and doing way more cellular damage than carbs. That's for damn sure. Like, the aldehydes and
The
oxidation
4-H and
products.
E, yeah, it's producing way more.
So if we're worried about cellular damage, a transient glucose spike, it's just going to shift bases. It's not even going to AGEs. The shift bases, are easily reverted back. That's like no glycation damage at all anyway.
Are we
But
talking
then-
about dietary or something that happens in the body?
So yeah, I'm talking about in the body. So
Okay.
So PUFA is, I would argue, doing way hundreds of times more cellular damage than eating an apple, in my opinion. And the funny thing is, when you're eating hundreds of grams of fat daily, inherently you're going to have a lot more PUFA if you're filling that in with fat as opposed to carbs, no matter what you eat. That's one thing to look at. So a lot of carnivores have like 30 grams of PUFA a day. If you're eating from a more like Pete split, you can have 10 grams of PUFA per day, fill it in with fruit, and you're actually going to have a lot less PUFA in your body. But secondly, with glycation, I mean, again, it's an endless mechanistic speculation, because then you have things like insulin are going to raise glutathione. It's just such a, keto diets raise dicarbonyls like methylglyoxal. So when it comes to saying like eating carbs causes glycation, that's the most level 1 perspective. It's so much deeper than that.
Okay, so seed oils are worse, therefore carbs are optimal.
No, it's that if you don't fill in a lot of your macros with carbs, you'll inherently have to have a fair bit of PUFA, no matter what you eat.
You mean so the polyunsaturated fats from animals are going to cause glycation or are going to lead to glycation? That more than a carbohydrate diet? Or?
So yeah, I would argue like, especially, you don't necessarily have to eat anything but beef, theoretically, right? But that's not necessarily against you. I'm just saying I see a lot of carnivores like cooking bacon, and then they're saying, well, I'm going to fry this bacon and then avoid fruit. and they think fried bacon is actually doing less cellular damage than fruit, which is
Mm.
comical to me, I would say. If that makes sense.
So, I mean, I'm totally against seed oils, but at what
Yeah.
point do we stop speculating mechanistically? Like, at what point do we say, okay, if you're literally saying that the dietary fat that we've been consuming for our entire history is like consuming a diet predominantly of that is going to expose you to an unnatural or unhealthy amount of glycation, it's like, isn't there a good reason to think that we have an antioxidant system that's robust and our net charge in our body doesn't change and there's not much like can't we measure AGEs and serum levels?
And that applies, by the way, that applies the same to eating fruit, by the way, because we've been doing that for a very long time too. So that also applies to a transient glucose raise, which, by the way, with like glycation,
So again,
real harm there
we're
is, like,
arguing
the chronic.
dose here.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's like some fruit, yeah, it's benign. It's historically 400 grams a day, 60% of your calories from honey and fruit. You're never
Well,
gonna have
that's
that
a number out of
access,
nowhere,
especially
right?
around.
Like I'm
What was
not,
that?
I don't personally prescribe like someone should eat 400 grams or something.
That's what it
Like
says it's recommended for me. That's what like your recommendation on the website is.
there's a slider of a recommended range between 20 and 40% fat from calories.
And you said it was
So,
fat heavy, but if you go to your recommendation, it's closer to 400 or 500. That being my measurements, I think.
well, I'd have to put in your thing and see where you are in the dial. But
Yeah.
even then, again, it's like evolution is a two-way street. You could look at it from an expensive tissue hypothesis point. Even let's say humans in nature at 200 grams. With modern tools to have more food abundance, there are reasons to believe having even more could actually have positive effects. The same way we see in our closest ancestors, the more sugar
Yeah.
bonobos
Yeah.
had,
So
the
then we
more
have
positive
to
effects
look
they
at
had.
that. So what are the positive effects, right? I mean,
Yeah, so
thyroid,
so
that's kind of silly.
so we'll definitely stray the thyroid panel in a positive direction with more carbs, I would say, 100%. And then, you know, since T3 is rate limiting for pregnenolone, right? We have retinol, T3, and LDL cholesterol, so to speak. We need those. Any of those can be rate limiting for pregnenolone. When you ramp up your vitamin A, your cholesterol, and your T3, your whole hormonal cascade unlocks. More testosterone, more free testosterone. We see sex hormone binding globulin go down when we introduce carbs.
Did you say raising cholesterol or lipid proteins or what?
having ample cholesterol to synthesize pregnenolone, which I think on any diet with meat you're gonna be chilling. So
Yeah, I mean, you have
that's
abundant
and then I mean I'd say
proteins.
the mechanisms of using glucose as a fuel I would say point to it being superior for many uses. Like for the brain, like the brain can't use fatty acids because they have so much ROS and they're not fast enough. That's why the brain can't use them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of benefits to having the brain running on ketones. Like, there's a lot of cases reversing symptoms of ADHD and schizophrenia.
So
Like,
yeah, I've looked into this. So in
Right.
rats, what's interesting is they can replicate all the benefits from keto by replicating the microbiome, which is low in endotoxin. So they can actually feed the rats that had all the benefits on keto, that ameliorated the endotoxin issue. They can then reintroduce carbs and keep the endotoxin at bay. And the rats have all the same benefits as keto, implying it was not actually the ketogenic state giving those benefits, it was actually the lack of the poor microbiome.
Okay.
Because keto can really help the microbiome.
yeah.
Yeah.
How did
But
they
So-
keep the
keto in
endotoxin at bay with
hospitals-
carbohydrates?
Well, the thing is, most people have bacterial overgrowth. They're eating things like sourdough bread,
yeah.
starches and things. But so that's why I think, I wouldn't try to heal with a zero carb diet, but I would definitely remove starches.
No, but what is
Keto can
how
be a
did they
really
do that
bad
in the
diet,
study?
too.
How did they add carbs back by keeping endotoxin
So
at bay?
with rats, they have a way. I don't know the name of the thing, but they have a way they can transfer a microbiome to another rat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So they can get the microbiome of a keto rat, put it into a rat that does eat carbs, and they have all the same benefits.
Okay. Right.
So that's one thing. So I would say, different tissues in our body are clearly going to thrive more with different fuels. Like I think muscles at rest should be using fat, like our heart and our muscles, they use, low energy demands, they use fat. Then I would say our brains do work quite well with glucose. And if your brain is ever using ketones, that means that the rest of your body is in fat oxidation to get to that point. So it's a lower and slower fuel with more ROS throughout the body if you're in that position.
More ROS
well, my
for
understanding-
ATP? My understanding was that it's less ROS produced per ATP for fat because it doesn't leak through complex 1 as much as sugar.
Well, fat has more ATP potential, but per unit of oxygen.
Oh, okay, right, per unit of oxygen.
So that's why the brain can't
per unit of oxygen though, rather than ATP.
Because that's kind of like, imagine I gave you a macronutrient that could produce 10 times more ATP than a gram of fat, but then it was super slow, super dirty, so to speak. It would be inferior.
But it's not like we're in an oxygen crisis though.
Well, we have a limited amount of oxygen coming in, and then of course we also have a limited amount of CO2. So when you are oxidizing carbs, I think it's clear that we are getting about 50% more CO2, which is helping that oxygen be utilized, and then we're also getting more ATP quicker with glucose oxidation.
Yeah, it is quicker, sure. But like you know that we breathe out most of the oxygen we breathe in. Like
yeah.
It's
we
so
breathe
it's
out
not like
a lot of CO2 and some oxygen.
Yeah, so it's not like we are starving with oxygen. Like we need to ration our oxygen. I would say it's more relevant per ATP ROS production rather than oxygen.
Well, it's like, so we have, how do I phrase this? Let's say, so in a gram of fat, we have more potential energy in that gram, but the usage is going to obviously be slower. It's not like that fat, so let's say, how do I explain this? You have 1 unit of oxygen that's going to be used for oxidation. We're going to yield more ATP from glucose with that molecule in the cell.
Right.
So, and it's not a huge difference, but my point is, I think another thing is if you're in ketosis, we do have the same, hormones or signals. We do have the same hormonal profile of someone who is starving. Literally. I mean, it is the same. It is more reverse T3, less T3, or T4.
There's differences because dietary protein has an effect, and obviously autophagy is different. Like insulin suppresses autophagy, that's one lever, but ketosis is still, if you're eating food, you're still not going to be identical to a fasted state for just one thing alone that disproves what you said is autophagy, right? And that's measurable. So no, it's not identical, obviously, right?
Well, the outcome isn't identical, but the straying of the hormonal profile between eating...
Just strictly hormones is what you're saying.
Yeah, being in, when the brain is in a ketogenic state, when you're in a full fat oxidation state, you are giving your body the same signals, like lower T3 typically, higher reverse T3. And I would say that the mechanisms of being in ketosis don't point to it being something you'd want to strive for, I would say. Not from a ancestral perspective, even the Maasai, you can't find a native population in ketosis really ever.
Do you disagree that ketones are GABAergic or GABA modulating?
I'm not versed in that, honestly.
Okay, so that's the mechanism I'm aware of for the seizures, because carbs promote an excitatory state in the brain. You remove that factor, then you have ketones, which promote GABA signaling, which is inhibitory signaling. And that's why we see less. I mean, it's the same reason gabapentin is prescribed to people with seizure disorders, because increasing GABA signaling is what lowers the seizures. I'm not sure why a preliminary rat study would have precedence over a ward with children and actual human outcomes, because that's pretty easy to. So,
I wouldn't even mind granting you that, it could, let's say a ketogenic diet is better for someone in a specific like health context, I wouldn't really be against granting that. But I would say that, if you're, let's say, a guy in your 20s and you're trying to, have good sports performance and feel your best, have kind of a high metabolic rate and all the positives that come with that, I don't think being on like a 1 meal a day meat only keto diet, I don't think the things point to that being ideal.
Are you familiar with Bullock and like the faster study, or is it faster was with the ultra marathon runners and
The
talking about
six
glycogen
week, is it
replenishment rate?
the six
No,
week
it's
swap diet or something?
maybe, but so the average adherence rate was like 20 months for these runners, and their glycogen replenishment and reliance was like identical to the carb. So like they didn't have any issue with a bottleneck for like performance or anything, or glycogen utilization or replenishment.
Well,
And it wouldn't matter,
I think for such a
but
catabolic sport, I actually think that, yeah, it would make more sense to be like carnivore if you're
that would be
running.
relevant if we're talking about utilization and performance. But the point of that study is replenishment. And after they were done, they pretty much, I think, depleted their glycogen stores. The replenishment rate was identical because, and this is what I say all the time, it's like fat adaptation doesn't occur overnight, especially when you've been relying on carbs for your entire life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I would be happy to look at the study. I have an open mind. Like if you
Volek
know,
does a lot of really good work.
yeah, no, I'll definitely look at it. If it's so for 20 months, if that's, you know, ideal or identical, then I'll have
We
to
don't
look at it.
have
But
other trials in long-term keto. I
Are
mean,
we talking about
long-term low
man-made
carb
sports though?
people.
also the thing, also like I think marathon running is, I mean, I think if you look at,
Again, all that's irrelevant. It was only the glycogen
yeah, it's only about the
replenishment rate that we're
glycogen.
looking at.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I'll also add on to this is that I think, so with for fat adaptation, I feel like carnivores kick the rock down the road. Like it's 6 months, it's 3 months, or is it 9 months, a year? The thing with carbs, it's funny, is like, your peripheral insulin resistance from being on carnivore, you can fix it in about 3 days when you introduce back carbs. But getting the body into oxidizing fat is this like year-long hard thing where your performance sucks, you feel bad for so long, and it's like, just trust the process, bro. It'll get better. With carbs, you add them back in 3 days, you're good to go. So I don't think the argument that you've been doing it your whole life is true, because when you go from fat oxidation to carb, it takes 3 days.
But
Whereas,
isn't that kind of like a misnomer? Because, I mean, if it's true that we are consuming an unnatural or a unhealthy amount of carbohydrates our entire life, then why would there not be some kind of, I mean, someone's sick, they're not going to get better overnight. They're not going to lose all that fat. They're not going to,
my
whatever it
point is,
is.
like, when you have a carnivore who's been doing carnivore for years, when they start going back to fruit, they're back to like a fish and glucose oxidation normally in about 3 days. Whereas when you are switching to carnivore, it's like this whole like 6 month to year process
Because
of
that's
being,
supposed to be our baseline, or the majority of the time spent in
why?
ketosis, and then but like that's what it appears to be historically, and as well as what's the best for our just
Wait,
our
how
health in
how does that
general.
appear to be the case historically though?
Because okay, so let's take, 400 grams is not right, whatever. Let's say 300. I mean, this is, you can say what you want, but the calculator definitely justifies these ranges for a lot of people in a lot of situations, right? So you have to grant that these are not natural levels,
Well, this is a
because
different topic though.
let's
I want to
say,
stay on ketosis being the
but
normal state.
we're talking about
And
carbs, right? Just
yeah,
hear me out. We're talking about
yeah,
carbs.
yeah.
So availability, right? We have these fruits and stuff that are, abundant in carbohydrates, and there's trees and stuff that fruit them all year round. How many of them would you have to consume, right, to obviously to get that level of carbs every day? And when it's, so you say you eat a fruit, how long does that take for that fruit to grow back? And then how many people are consuming that tree? And then how many trees are there? And it doesn't seem like everybody is going to get 400 grams of carbohydrates every day from fruit from that
So
tree.
why I'm cutting you off
Do you
is
know what I'm
that
saying?
400-gram marker has no relevance in the discussion of if ketosis is our natural state. Which, by the way, I used to think like animals were all in ketosis. That's a huge lie from carnivores too. It's actually considered a sickness if a cow is in ketosis. Lions are never in
They have a
ketosis.
species
Tigers are,
diet completely.
tigers are never in ketosis. Essentially, you know, every carnivore is able to eat hundreds and hundreds of grams of protein, like 500 grams of protein a day, and they're in glucose metabolism, which we do not have that capability without clear damages from ammonia and things. But point is, even 100 grams of
We don't
carbs
have
a
other
day.
carnivorous primates to compare it to, so it's kind of irrelevant.
No, I'm saying if you compare the effect of eating 500 grams of protein a day for a human versus if you eat a tiger who eats a ton of protein, they have capabilities and pathways to deal with that ammonia differently than we do. I think you would agree that we shouldn't be eating a bunch of
500
protein to
grams
be
of
in carb.
protein is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is, even 100 grams of carbs a day would keep you out of ketosis largely. So my point is,
Even 500 grams of carbs? Is that what you said?
I said 100. So
Oh,
I don't see what would point you ancestrally to say that we were mostly in ketosis. If we were in the tropics for almost all of our evolution with big fruits, sometimes 30-pound fruits, full of sugar, honey, I just don't really see the point that would say it's most likely we were always in
so
ketosis,
we
especially
didn't.
when, yeah.
There weren't regular periods of time where we weren't eating. Then, that's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there were times we were starving, and I think, you know, again, when you're looking at optimal health, I think that's the last
Did we
thing
eat every
would
day?
create. I think
Like,
it's not a blanket thing. Some humans probably were that good, some weren't, you know.
yeah.
And
I think
again,
it's much harder.
there's this ideology I can tell from your lens of like, what did humans do, and that's like the kingpin. Where I think there's more room to look at what did they do, like, oh yeah, some humans didn't eat for 4 days, but you know, how do you feel when you don't eat for 4 days? Probably not so great compared to eating. So my point is, if we're trying to have optimal health,
So
I want to look beyond what some humans did. Anyways, but
my friend, he measures his, glucose and ketones and stuff like that, and he intentionally challenges himself with a couple hundred grams of carbohydrates every once in a while. He's the scientist, lives overseas, but he gets back into ketosis fairly quickly. I'd have to pull up the exact measurements, but he's always shocked with a long-term fat adaptation, how quickly, and also being active, which we can probably grant that most humans are pretty active. So I don't think that it's granted that 100 grams of carbs would keep you out of ketosis for very long.
but then let's even move beyond that and say, let's say it didn't, and who knows how many carbs people actually ate. The point is, let's look at what is optimal. So I don't see why for optimal health you'd want to be in ketosis though. Especially like
Oh
I
yeah.
think
So
a lot of
that's a
the
whole different
people,
discussion, right?
yeah, I think um a lot of people want to be performing well, and you can have, I'll look at the study you've mentioned. When I look in my carnivore community, and over a year with thousands of members throughout that time, with applicability, even if let's say after a year of perfect carnivore you're going to have the same performance. In effect, many people just could never get their gym performance back, their sports performance back. They felt bad, they were tired. I think anecdotally it's clear that the no carb thing for, performance is not, for anabolism is not doing so well.
Again, it's
What
all
do you
short
think?
term. It's like, what do we have long term?
Yeah, it's like you just
You know,
have, on carnivore, you just have to wait a year until eventually you'll,
to
it's like,
somebody who has been consuming a high carb diet their entire life, but to somebody not, then obviously not.
but again, if you've been eating carnivore for years, you can switch back to carbs in 3 days, but switching to fat is always this painful, they call
Yeah,
it the
what do you mean
keto
switch back
flu.
to carbs?
Like, for example, you have someone, you start getting peripheral insulin resistance on carnivore after doing it for a while. And,
Hmm.
for example, I had high A1C as well on carnivore. Point is, you switch back to carbs in about 3 days, that peripheral insulin resistance is gone, and you can effectively use
But
carbs. So
switch
the
back to
body,
carbs. What do you mean?
so my point is the body is always ready to go back to carbs, but putting the body into fat oxidation is like a chore. You feel bad. It takes a long time. But carbs, the body's always ready for it. It's boom, you're back in just
I'm
a few
confused
days.
what you mean switch back to carbs. Like eating carbs one time all
I
day,
mean,
how
going
much?
going from not eating carbs for years, going to eating carbs daily, that
Like
transition
high carb
period.
from low carb to high carb is what you're saying?
it's not even important. Let's say no carb to 150 grams of carbs. Even that transition is this quick process over days. There's not a carb flu of putting back carbs where you feel bad for years or something. You're back into that oxidation. Whereas switching to fat oxidation, there's a term called the keto flu for a reason, because you feel bad when you switch. It takes a long time. It's
But
really
if
only
we
2 weeks.
reverse the context, somebody who has been consuming fat their entire lives, no carbs, then it's the opposite. I mean,
But it's not.
like I said, somebody who is fat adapted, who's predominantly fat adapted, they can get back into ketosis super quickly, way quicker than somebody else who's got elevated fasting insulin. They're going to have elevated, stress hormones and pathways, taking aminos from their muscle tissue, whatnot. They're not going to have the keto flu switching back to fat. But carbs would be a problem.
Oh, I
But
see your
somebody who's been eating
point.
carbs their entire life, they switch to fat, which they're not used to, and then yes, it's a whole process. But if you're already adapted,
I
then
see your
getting
point with
back
that,
into
but
it, it's no
wait.
issue.
My point is, okay, so the carnivore who's been doing carnivore for years, they can eat some carbs and then they can go back to fat oxidation easier. Yes. My point is they can
Yeah,
permanently switch to carb oxidation in a few days, and then the insulin signaling is back to normal, etc. The peripheral insulin resistance is gone. My point is that's not the same for someone who's been eating carbs for 2 years, switching into carnivore. That will be that year-long period. That's my point.
Who's
well,
But
been
were
eating
they
carbs
doing
for over two
carnivore
years?
prior to that?
my
What was that?
so I'll lay it out once more. It's not important if I can't get it across, like if I can't articulate it well. You have, let's say, a person 2 years on carb oxidation mainly, one person on 2 years, carnivore. The person on 2 years carnivore could switch over to carbs in about a week at most. The person on the carb oxidation, to get to their peak on carnivore, they would then take a year to transition. That's my point.
Again, I get what you're saying, but it
Yeah.
depends on the background of the diet. Because then if
Well, I
they've
just
been
gave
doing
you there's
carnivore their
two
entire
two
life, they're going to switch
backgrounds.
back.
The backgrounds have been 2 years on each respective diet. So, but my point is, so like let me rattle
Sure.
off how I see it with the no carb carnivore thing. I think glycation is, firstly, I think it is completely unprovable of what will lead to the most glycation. I think the transient glucose raises from eating a fruit is a joke if in terms of cellular damage. That's not what you want to look at. You want to look at AGEs from PUFA, 4-HNE from PUFA. I think PUFA is really the king of cellular damage. I'd look at that, not eating a fruit. So I'd say like the
Yeah.
glycation, you have dicarbonyls that raise on carnivore, blah, blah, blah. I think the glycation argument is poor for not eating carbs. The Randall cycle, which is a cellular selection system of what a cell is going to oxidize primarily. People like Barquet, they imply that there's this inherent giga harm. But when you actually listen to him, he never actually outlines what he's proposing this actual horrible harm is of eating both carbs and fats. So
He's
that
laid out an
piece,
inflammatory pathway.
Well, it is just
It
inorganic
causes
phosphate buildup,
inflammation.
isn't it? Like it is inflammation
Another.
that builds
and
up,
even then,
systemic
let's say there
inflammation.
was one mechanism that was like, okay, that might not be great. I would say the host of mechanisms would point to at least eating some level of carbs, I would say, like with thyroid, with the whole hormonal profile, with, yeah, your entire hormonal profile is super dependent on if you eat carbs or not. So I'd say that. So I feel like, the Randall cycle, glycation, all these main arguments for not eating carbs, even in the ancestral argument, I don't really see any of them holding up, honestly.
I think we bounce around a lot because the whole thing
Yeah, I
about
just wanted
transitioning from
to
diet to
rattle
diet,
off.
it's,
Yeah.
but again, so it completely depends what you're eating your entire life. Because you're going to be getting back into fat adaptation within no time at all. The same thing with carbs, because it's a biased sample size. Everybody has been eating carbs their entire life.
Oh
So
yeah, I was
switching
moving
back is not
past
going to be a
that.
problem.
I was
I'm
moving
just
past
saying though,
that.
like,
I don't think it's terribly important. Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's
but
fine.
I'll just,
But in
yeah.
terms of saying like ketosis is the natural state, when you look across any species, you're not going to find a single carnivore in ketosis naturally. So,
No,
and then
again,
with
there are
humans,
no
you want,
primates that are carnivorous.
okay,
They're the
but
only
then
ones.
you look at any human naturally, even the humans that only have access to eat only raw meat, they then develop genes to make sure they're not in ketosis. So
We're not in
ketosis being,
ketosis constantly, but we are predominantly, probably.
who's like you're saying, natural humans in the tropics.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, so
probably.
like when we observe what we can actually observe, like with any modern tribe, even the Inuit, right, only eating raw meat, they're not in ketosis. Why do you think they develop genes to keep them out of the optimal human state?
Yeah, I bad adaptation dominant is probably better wording in general. You're not always measuring producing measurable amounts of ketones, right? Because that's just excess fatty acids. And even on a
Yeah.
keto diet, that eventually cuts off. You're not just perpetually in deep ketosis. Um, so,
Yeah, and like then on
but fat
carnivore, it's like
oxidation might be.
you have to eat just a ton of protein to leave ketosis, which then again doesn't always work depending on who you are. So it's just like all these dancing around it. What
You
and
told
then
me that
then
it worked for you though, right? You said after you ate, you were out of ketosis for like 3 to 4 hours, right?
yeah, what was weird is I tested it multiple times and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't with the same amount of protein. So I don't know what
Oh, okay.
that's maybe just weird physiology. I don't
What
know.
did you use to test it?
The ketone strips that you just piss
Oh,
on the
okay.
test.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Those are not that
I
great
feel
though.
I feel like the whole and then you know Coach Stefan, Bart K's friend, it didn't work for him, but Bart K, I listened to his explanation. It was very bad. It didn't actually address it. Um, so the point is, the way I see this no carb thing, and then another thing, outside of mechanistic speculation, you know, the fruits are so appealing to your senses, and I just feel like depriving you of those, even from that angle, is like, you know, you want to eat them, but you've been convinced they're harmful, and you've put that against your own body, like your own body's trying to hurt you by liking fruit. You know, I just think it's something to look at.
It's all dose and availability. I mean, yeah, we ate them as they were available, but I don't think that there's a firm argument for the levels you're talking about. You know,
Well, again, I don't really
occasionally
care.
maybe.
I don't really care if someone eats 300 grams of carbs or 150. I mean, I probably wouldn't go below 150 just for central nervous system requirements. But, oh yeah, someone in chat says unmodified fruit looks nasty. Again, they're referring to the temperate fruits, which are very different than the fruits we evolved with in the tropics, because those are nasty, like crab apples and things. But yeah, that's something to remember. If we're dealing with mechanistic speculation, I think this with carnivore, the whole idea is like our body is trying to harm us, like carb addiction, like, oh, you have to deprive yourself. The sugar's going to glycate and harm you. Or it's like, dude, your body is not trying to hurt you. It's just, yeah. And then with the dopamine thing, all three macronutrients stimulate dopamine: fat, protein, and carbs. So, yeah.
Wait, you said fat stimulates insulin?
Dopamine.
No, no dopamine.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, I got to get going.
All
I
right,
have to get to bed pretty soon.
See you, Payne.
I got you. All right, well, that was
Thanks.
See you,
that was
boys.
a good discussion. All right, take care, dude.
Yeah.
It's just you and I.
Yeah. Bro, you know what I want to do? I want to get my blood panel done and see what's going on.
Well, you look healthy. Do you feel healthy?
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah.
Only thing is I do have cold hands and feet, but honestly I've had that like all my life and it's winter right now, so it kind of makes sense.
Well, it's good you're being honest about that. What I would
Of
say
course,
is,
I wouldn't. Yeah.
what I would say is like, do you ever measure your temperature, like with
My body temperature? No, not recently.
Yeah, you should check it. You know, it's
Okay.
funny, man. Like, dude, I know you're very committed to like at least a low carb approach, but it's funny if you implemented some fruits like in a month, like your body temp would be way higher. You'd probably feel better.
Okay.
But
You know, Brian Johnson slowed his body temperature by like 3 degrees or some shit, and he actually thinks that's
Yeah.
healthy.
yeah,
Like what?
he's pretty lost, I'd say. I mean, he subscribes to the rate of living theory, which is not a good theory, I'd say.
Yeah, how does it work? Like, do you understand how it works? Because I always thought, like, how are
Yeah.
they going to measure the rate of living?
Yeah, the idea is that, you know, he sees like a human like an engine where it has a limited amount of rotations and then it's going to break.
Okay.
But ironically, in a human, the more ATP a human can produce, which is correlated with a higher metabolism,
Mm.
you're then actually able to repair yourself to then have more rotations.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But he's like slowed down everything to live longer.
Mm.
One thing I'll add on that, with the rate of living theory, they plotted every species of animal out, and the animals with, you know, the lowest metabolisms live the longest.
Okay.
But then when you look among any species of animal, like among rats, the rats with the highest metabolism live the longest.
Yeah.
So by that logic, the humans with the highest metabolism would actually live the longest. But
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
yeah,
I've been doing like about a liter of raw milk a day consistently, so that's like I don't know, like 65 grams of carbs. That's
So-
basically like what I do usually. I feel fine.
yeah, how much carbs is that? I forgot. To be fair with that discussion, for me it's 11 a.m. and for the Seed Oil Bro it's 11 p.m. So I'm more alert as well. To give him
The cortisol,
credence.
yeah, you're getting cortisol benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get about 50 grams a day, yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, I kind of wanted the discussion to go longer because I was looking for like, I'm just trying to find the actual inherent harm in his perspective, like eating a fruit.
Yeah.
I don't think the glycation holds up.
The glycation thing is definitely just mechanism. What I think about is like brain function with ketones and also just mTOR, like having low insulin most of the time. So, you know, autophagy is helping recycle damaged mitochondria, cells, proteins, DNA, whatever, and also just the satiety as well, like being satiated for much longer.
Yeah, I mean, that's my perspective, is that being in keto and doing the really high fat carnivore diet, I think it's very suppressive to your appetite because for me, even I was trying to eat maintenance, I was losing weight still.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it's not a bad intervention, I guess, if you were obese, but yeah, I mean, with autophagy, we always have that when we sleep. So it's like 8 to 9 hours.
That's true. Yeah.
I think eating 2 to 3 times a day, in my mind, is pretty solid. Not
Okay.
necessarily like a fruit every hour.
Mm.
Yeah, that would probably be pretty dumb.
I don't like having to eat multiple times a day, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like sleeping. Like, I definitely think there are things that
You
have
don't
to
like
wake them up.
sleeping?
No, well, like from a business perspective, right? I wish I never had to
okay.
sleep. I wish I could just work,
Right.
you know. But we have to do things for optimal health, right? Like, I'd rather sleep 8 hours than 6 hours because then those 16 hours I'm more alert. I feel better. But I'm giving up 2 hours of potential productivity, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think eating multiple times a day is actually a luxury you might have to give up to have better health, I'd say.
Okay. Well, what do you think is the benefit, just insulin? Like having insulin throughout the day without, like, so you don't have glucagon high?
Well, I think having insulin a few times a day, you're then getting that signal to have more active thyroid hormone
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 times a day. Also, you are never going to have an electrolyte issue in that case. And insulin, again, I think the transient anabolic properties are a good thing, especially in growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you say about
Like when I
like when blood sugar raises above, I think it was like 130 millimoles per deciliter, the insulin response is like rapidly exponential. Kind of, I kind of see that as it being a response to toxicity, or like protecting the cells, like protecting it from sugar damage.
I'm like maybe zoned out. I didn't even
Okay.
carb brain fog.
When your blood sugar goes above like 130 millimoles per deciliter, there's
Yeah.
a far more exponential insulin response. So
Yeah, I
it's
think that is a damaging range for sure.
yeah. But that's like very. How would you even get it to that high? Is that common? Because I know
I
that
think you'd have
the
to.
regular is like 4 millimoles.
Well, I think that is the idea of insulin resistance, where someone's eating glucose, and they are eating too much food in general. They have impaired mitochondrial function. They can't even produce energy. They're just obese. They're storing all the energy they're eating, and they have elevated free fatty acids and elevated
Yeah.
glucose. So they're pouring more fuel into a broken system. And like, so for me, if I eat a fruit and I measure my blood sugar, it goes up for about 20 minutes, you know, and some fat, sick person, it might go up for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, like, for me to get my blood sugar that high, I'd probably have to eat pure dextrose powder, like just a bag of it or something.
What's dextrose? It's a disaccharide,
That's
right?
just glucose, yeah.
It's like just glucose, like it's.
Yeah, just glucose instead of sucrose.
Oh, okay. Is dextrose just
dextrose
like the
powder.
brand name for it or something? And it's
I
just
think
like.
dextrose is just,
Is it free sugars?
I think it's a simple sugar chemically identical to glucose. So it's just,
Okay.
I guess it's because it's from corn or something. But I know a lot of like gym guys will, because they fear fructose, they use just dextrose before the gym,
Okay.
which I guess that will go more to the muscles. But
Like
Reactor
white
Resident
rice.
Raw's video, that was unwatchable. Sorry about that.
I didn't. Wait, which one? The tier list?
It is a boring one. I'll say the truth about it.
The tier list? I didn't even watch
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
I didn't even watch his videos, so I don't think I've ever watched any of them.
It was a 40-minute video.
Oh my
and
god.
It's just not like one of his entertaining ones for me, I think. He said he uploaded it by accident, to be fair. Yeah.
Like Marlon. The Marlon incident.
It's also, if I look at it, the video, it's pretty predictable. Like, oh yeah, I think he put raw vegan above cooked carnivore.
What?
Yeah.
That has to be a joke. Nah.
So raw vegan, I mean, it says repeat diet. There isn't a repeat diet, but whatever. And he thinks raw vegan is better than repeat diet. It's better than,
Yeah, what?
I don't know. It's because it's raw, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard some funny shit.
Enzymes
Julian's
in
in the
that.
call. A guy in my school who's in the chat, he said we were talking about how Agnes would react to the tick, the red meat tick.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian was like, if Agnes was alive, he'd say the tick only applies to cooked meat.
Because raw meat has enzymes.
So fucking, yeah, that's so true. He literally would say that.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, dude. That is so true. But yeah, that's like Resident Raw. It's like, if it's raw, then it's better than anything.
Someone in my family had alpha gal. She got it like 20 years ago, I think, from a tick.
Oh, wow. It's been around that long. I didn't know.
Yeah, it only just started spreading recently, though.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, surely.
Mm-hmm.
Surely the elites aren't up to anything. That is the most fucked up disease ever.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. Although it doesn't apply to eggs and fish, so
It does apply to dairy, right? I think.
I
I was hearing in the school call, people said it.
think
you can't
it
eat
I think
dairy.
it does, yeah. So you could technically
So
survive
you're just
and
proof of maxing.
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I could survive. I'd
could
max
still
out
be
my
okay.
oysters.
Yeah, oysters, yeah.
I'd max those. I'd probably do some lean fish, and then damn, the fat source is fucked.
It just
Maybe coconut oil, and then I'd use liver for fat
Ooh.
soluble vitamins.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you can't do liver
Oh no. But yeah.
or chicken liver.
Oh.
Chicken liver.
Chicken liver? I don't think
Okay,
you can
dude.
even eat chicken.
I thought you could eat chicken. Okay,
No, I think
I
it's
eat fish.
I think it's all land animals.
I'd get my fat soluble vitamins from fish, and then I'd from their liver. Then I'd use coconut oil for saturated fat. Yeah.
Okay, so it's an allergy against a sugar called alpha gal. Let me see all the foods containing alpha gal. All products sourced from mammals, organ meats, and mammalian fats. Okay, so you probably could eat chicken.
Yeah. Okay. I'd be fucking with some chicken, I guess. I'd have to raise my own with chicken. Chicken liver and coconut oil. Yeah. Damn. I
Oh,
could really.
dude.
We could sell like a course of the best diet to eat to give alpha gal. Literally though.
Yeah, wait, that's a good idea. What the hell?
Yeah. We could do a collab on it. There we go.
Done.
You could actually do okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what else on Resident Roll's tier list. Primal diet, he put it the best.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Yeah, raw carny, Weston Price, and animal based and good.
Why is animal based above cooked carnivore if it's cooked? And raw vegan's above cooked
Because
carnivore?
I'm assuming his logic. I'd agree actually with that ranking, but the reason he does it is because there would be quote unquote raw fruits and raw dairy in the animal based.
Yeah, true.
Which I actually see the argument of raw milk being better than only cooked meat.
Mm,
Like I think raw milk is pretty uniquely nice.
okay.
What do you think?
I like it, yeah.
I think it's like such a chill food. It's so just easy and
Yeah.
just so chill.
I think it's very good for people who, especially like modern day, and it's gonna help them eat less plant foods, I guess.
Yeah, it's just such an easy thing. You can hand a normie like a gallon of raw milk.
Exactly, yeah.
Tastes good. It's good. It just
hmm
yeah. He put
Raw lacto veg,
so what's that? It's raw vegan with raw
only
milk.
dairy, yeah.
That's weird. That's a very interesting ranking. I want to see what he said to cooked carnivore. So I guess you and Peyton kind of disagree on cooking, or
Yeah. I think most people when cooking, they just like, they kind of dodge the question, what's better? And they're just like, well, is there actually any significant difference?
I was trying to get there, I just couldn't get
Yeah.
there.
It's the same with Bart. I had this conversation with him. He's like, but don't you know that AGs like aren't mostly absorbed and they can be detoxed? And it's like, yeah, but it also signals NF kappa beta in the liver before it's detoxed, so you have systemic inflammation already, and like 30% of it is absorbed as well.
Yeah, it's like every that my point was the same. It's like every point about why cooked is it's about why cooked is something you can live with. It's not about why
Yeah.
it's better. And it's like, okay, let's get past that. Why is it better?
Yeah, I know. It's the same.
And it's never gonna happen.
Exactly what Bart said as well. He was like, I did only well done meat for 10 years with no nutrient deficiencies, and it's like, okay, well, how do you know you wouldn't
How
have
would you
felt
have felt
better?
if it was all raw? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see what it says about cooked here.
What meat have you been buying from Barley Plugs? Is it just the leg meat or sirloin?
He gave me some lamb meat. It was pretty chill. It
Mm-hmm.
was chill. I definitely like his goat milk. His goat cream. Butter is
Oh.
good.
Nice.
The goat cream is really good.
Dude, when I bought butter, it was hella sour. I couldn't eat it.
Oh, really? No, mine is straight. I mean, I think I'm gonna just opt for cream anyway. It's more enjoyable.
Yeah, true. Bro, when I was in Bali, dude, Felix was fucking leaving these like high meat jars all around the house with like testicles and shit. And we literally
Like
got
Adrian's house.
yeah, we got complaints from the neighbors, like, of smells, and cause he's literally just leaving like a pot of rotten tuna out in the yard. Not even because he wanted to eat it, just because he was too lazy to throw it away and clean the pot.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean, bro, that's
disgusting.
all a mess. I think actually Bali, like depending on where you stay in Bali, it can be pretty sick. I have a good like. There are these restaurants with just such good raw food, like
Oh yeah, I
really,
know
bro.
there was very good raw food.
Wait,
Food restaurants.
let me show you a few pictures of
Okay.
some raw food I got there. It's like not even pricey.
Where are you staying right now? Do you want to stay on stream?
I'm in Ulu.
Oh yeah, nice.
Here, I'll show you 2 meals you can just get. Pretty
Wow.
nice.
Nice.
Carpaccio, tuna tartare, and oysters on the right, and then tuna tartare, then
Yum.
some mahi tartare oysters, and then like octopus carpaccio. Like, bro, that's like really nice
Ooh.
stuff.
Doggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Bro, if you come to Australia, we would have to like we should go like on a little tour up the coast because Sydney is kind of mid for like
It's
health living. Yeah, like the beaches are
Really?
good. The beaches are nice, but there's nothing. It's nothing like Byron Bay or Gold Coast or those kind of things for like sun, beaches and
Well,
everything.
Well, I'm assuming it's quite, like, I mean, I have money, but it's quite pricey, is it not, in Australia?
The rent is like the highest anywhere.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, that might. So is your family wealthy? Like, do you mind saying that?
no, not at all. Like
They're not
literally,
wealthy?
like not. I mean, actually, it's complicated. Like I'll tell you later if you want to know.
Okay.
It's complicated, but like I get a lot
Like,
of
you
people
can, like,
saying
will they cover your food and stuff?
no.
Oh, really?
Not at the moment. I get a lot of people saying, like, actually angry at me, like saying, how can you recommend this diet for everyone? Like, you're rich, you don't know like the struggles of people. Like, only rich people can adhere to this diet, and I'm like, you don't know anything about me. Like, I actually
Yeah,
get
I mean,
people saying that.
either way, you have your own business. You're not sitting on your ass, so
Yeah, exactly. It's
you
like,
deserve to have the food you buy.
yeah,
Fuck.
it's their own fault. Like, people don't take accountability. That's why they don't succeed. Like, even if something's not 100% your fault, you need to take accountability for it.
If someone recommended me a diet and I didn't have the money, but they recommended me what was best for me, then I would say it's time to get that money.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's my mindset.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like our Bali trip just had a confounding variable, so so to speak.
Yeah, it was
So
it was mutual as
don't
well.
let that, yeah, don't let that stray your perception. Cause
Of
like you
Bali,
saw our
yeah.
villa in Ubud, like that was fucking sick. Like that was so nice living there, bro.
It was, yeah, it was a good villa.
That
yeah.
shit was so sick. And yeah, Marbella, Spain, horrible for health.
Mm-hmm.
Ibiza, Spain is actually a secret health gold mine.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, lots of pills. Yeah, it's a health gold mine.
health gold mine.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's the worst place I've ever been.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
Okay.
But yeah, no, like Marbella, Spain made me want to give up on health. The food is so bad. It's just comical.
You told me the only meat had 7 ingredients minimum. Is that true? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't get fresh meat?
I booked. Of course, it's so expensive there for no reason. Like going into town costs $100 on an Uber. It's just stupid. It's
Yeah.
like, just fucking stupid. But anyway, I went to plenty of the best grocery stores I could find. Like their best grocery store is the equivalent of like Walmart in America. It's just not, it's just garbage.
Wow.
It's like
Yeah.
Aldi and stuff. And like the ground meat, that was grass fed still had like 6 additives in it.
What the
It
fuck?
It tasted so bad raw. It was just garbage meat, bro.
What
and,
what
like-
were the additives?
I couldn't read them. I don't know what they
Okay.
were, but I think they were one of them was like some nitrate or something.
Sodium nitrate. Yeah. What the?
Like It was like also like I think it had MSG
Oh,
to make it
no
taste better.
way.
Yeah.
No way. It had MSG.
No, because
What the
I
hell?
cooked it up. I cooked it up for the first time, and I was like, why does this taste so good, but in a fake way?
Yeah, okay. No, that
It
makes
wasn't
sense.
good meat, but it tasted addictive. I was like, what the fuck
Like
is
you
this?
it tasted bad, but you felt stimulated by
It
it.
didn't
Yeah.
taste like good quality meat, but it tasted good in a weird way. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then
Hmm.
I looked at the back. I was like, oh shit, this isn't even meat.
Crazy.
And like all the fruits looked like very washed out in color, and like the dairy was just A1
Mm.
plastic. It's just garbage.
Yeah. That's
You can't, like, in my opinion, you really can't even be that healthy with that food. But
mm.
yeah,
No, you can't for sure.
at least I can't. I can't. I don't know about you.
What with like, MSG ground beef? Nah.
I mean, A1 dairy, like, it costs $1 per liter, like that quality. So
Yeah.
it'd be like
Nah, I can't do that.
school lunch,
I
like school
can't do
lunch milk. It's
that.
just,
Yeah. My milk in Australia is $7 a liter.
Bali plugs, I think it's $3 a liter. I think.
Hmm. Oh, 7 Australian. It's like maybe like
Oh, is that the same?
5 US.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it's 5 US. Yeah, okay, that's chill. Marbella is so much better than what? Marbella is shit. I hate that place. Bunch of fucking corny people too. Like the Spanish people aren't nice at all. They're actually extremely dumb. I think. I didn't meet a single nice person there. But yeah, redacted. Let me know. You were there? I wonder where you shopped, bro. So I could not find good food. I did go to a butcher and they had some grain-fed meat. I tried to eat it raw, it just tasted bad. It's like, yeah, it's over.
You know, when I was in Bali, the meat that Bali plugs gave me
Yeah.
was so disgusting I couldn't eat it. I like had it um at my hotel in Canggu my last night when I escaped the villa in Ulu and then I was gonna fly back. I got the chef to cut it up for me and put it on a plate, and then I tried to eat it and it was just like, I don't want to eat this. And then I
He fucked
ordered,
you up, bro.
I ordered like a bunch of Haagen-Dazs on Grab, and I just ate that.
Mogs.
But it was so expensive. It's even more expensive than in Australia.
Oh, the Haagen-Dazs there is insane, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like fucking $30 a pint or something.
yeah. And then I put the meat in a bag and I just put it like in the attic of my fucking hotel to rot because there was no bin.
So you didn't, like, what I'll say is, I think a cool lifestyle in Bali is living like near a beach in Ulu and then also near like Bamboo Fitness.
Bamboo
So
Fitness.
that's like a chill. I don't know if you work out, but that's like a chill, nice gym.
Okay. Yeah. I work out. I don't have a gym membership yet though. I've been doing it like once a week, just hopping free trials. But
Yeah.
when I get a car, I'm gonna get a membership.
Yeah, you're not on that GOATUS mentality or what's up?
No, I think it's better to work out like
Live
outside,
it.
but I think it's just fine. Like it's just acute stress, hormetic. It's not really aging that much.
I mean, I think working out like twice a week, even if it was aging, I think it's a good ROI.
Yeah, twice a week is not a lot, especially like you can recover from that easily.
Because it's like, I mean, there's a balance. Like, I think you'll look just bigger in a shirt. You'll have a more attractive physique. It's like, why not?
Yeah, yeah,
Because I think the funny thing is, we can all agree GOATUS looked way fucking tougher back when he was roided and big than he does now. Now he looks like a.
Do you think he was actually on roids and that's why he has gyno now?
Yeah, he must have been on roids for sure.
Okay.
I think he was big. Let me
Yeah.
look. Go to this vegan protest. He was a big guy. He's actually fucking tall, isn't he?
He's like 6'1".
I saw this thumbnail. It's like I'll show you this thumbnail. This makes him look pretty tall,
Mm.
I'd say.
Oh yeah.
If he was a manlet, he would be a virgin. Let's say that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Let's say that. Yeah, it's this like physiognomy that just looks very. Like, he does look
Physiognomy?
like yeah, like the characteristics his face display does make him look like you want to stay away from him. Like, look at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
he does
know.
look like an outcast for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You should have ordered from Finn Casar beef or beef. Yeah, I ordered some milk in Spain and then raw milk, and then it was like it was gonna be 3 weeks to come, so it was just like just Yeah, the Iberico pork, it's just full of PUFA, bro. Sorry about that. Fruits are so good in Marbella, bro. Stop.
Is the Iberico
No.
pork even high in PUFA? Like, oh wait, it's not. It's only the really prestigious one that's fed acorns, not just the
I mean,
Iberico.
I think the Iberico pork is like 10% PUFA, so I mean, it's like not my favorite.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It's not the worst, but
I'd rather eat that than like nitrate beef.
yeah, maybe I should have done more pork.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, also we were paying like I think $15,000 a month for our place. It was just not very nice for
Wow.
that money. It was just garbage.
Yeah. What the hell? Okay.
It's just it's not enjoyable to live there, I think.
Yeah.
The people suck, the price sucks.
Mm.
At least it's kind of equatorial, like or subtropical, I guess.
Yeah. There's a good pork sauce that I have here. It's fully pasteurized. I'm pretty sure they don't even feed it like any grain. Like they just eat the pasture and
Nice.
animals that come past. Tastes
Do you
really
eat
good.
do you eat liver? Do you eat organs these days?
No, not even. Actually,
No
no.
organs.
Nah.
That's interesting. I know like we've all had a progression, but when you first started into diet, you were more into like organs, right?
Yeah, I literally ate mostly organs.
Yeah, nice. It's a good progression to stop that, I would say.
Yeah, I do want to try some liver again though. I feel like a bit more retinol would be good for skin.
Yeah, I think it can be a supplement. I just think GOTUS has done a little bit of damage with having people eat like pounds a week and stuff.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think.
Yeah, I used to eat like, uh, on average probably like 400 grams a day for like a month probably.
Yeah, yeah. I used to like it was so unintuitive. I was forcing it down
Really, I actually
back in
liked
the
it.
day.
I actually wanted to eat that much.
Oh, then I'd go for it if you liked it. Like
But I
it was
hate
just
it now. I just stopped liking it
oh really?
suddenly. Yeah,
I would listen to that probably.
yeah. Did you try testicles ever?
Yeah, I think I've tried them. They were like okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
something
kind of
I
mid.
think is wretched is fucking kidney, bro. I think that shit's wretched.
Yeah, I hear everyone saying this, but the kidney I've gotten from this butcher I went to, like pastured beef, like beef kidney is like really nice actually. So
Interesting. Yeah.
it just tastes like kind of a less potent, sweeter version of liver.
Yeah, for me it was. I guess my sourcing was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Godas interestingly doesn't know is, there's actually like 3 accounts of people traveling with the Inuit where they fed the liver to dogs. Actually,
Mm.
they ate the muscle.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
something that varies.
Yeah.
But then again, the Inuit were eating. They would have been eating liver from the seafood, which is different.
Mm.
Yeah, I've tried brain. It's show. I just probably wouldn't go for the beef brain. I do. I'm not like a. I don't. I think prions exist. Some people don't. So
Yeah. After you were talking about that in Bali, I kind of thought about it, and it's like, is it really worth the risk when it's so speculative about pronouns, and you won't know for
yeah,
decades if you have it?
yeah,
So
I'd say probably chill. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and then again, it's like, if you want brain, you could just eat lamb or something.
Hmm. Well, what's the difference?
They don't have prions.
Oh, they can't.
No, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. Well, I used to do lamb brain heaps back
Wait,
at
let me
home.
see if I'm right. Oh, it can.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm wrong.
Okay.
I thought it was. Wait. Though to be fair, I think the prions is mostly from human tribes where the humans would eat other human brains.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
apparently,
know
like
deer can have it a lot.
horses are extremely uncommon to have them. Like basically can't.
Okay.
And then cows are like, yeah. No, I don't think salt. If I ever said salt was toxic, I don't know what I was on. I don't think it's toxic. That must have been me like 2 years ago or something. I think if you have a huge clump of salt, then it can kill certain gut microbiome bacteria. Huge clump of it. But if you have finely ground salt, it should just go to sodium and chloride. So
I like salt on meat. I actually have been eating like mostly salt on meat, but it, I feel worse with it. Like I feel more dehydrated. So I think it's better without, but it tastes much better. So
interesting, yeah. When's the latest you can have coffee? Well, if you have caffeine, the half-life is 6 hours. So, and 12 hours later, you still have a fourth of it.
yeah, and even if you have it in the morning, your adenosine is going to build up much quicker. So then you're gonna have, like, you're gonna feel tired in the afternoon.
Frost, why do you promote seed products? Well, I wouldn't say I promote them. Why do I eat them? Because, let's say with chocolate, for example, if you have every micronutrient you require, just in general, and you simply need fat and sugar, then it's literally just, that's what it is. And like with oxalates, I would say I definitely, in my past content, overemphasized them because I didn't understand them fully. Like, I would still watch, personally, I think leafy greens are pretty high in them, but, a lot of factors influence how much oxalates we create ourselves, which is more important, I think, than like chocolate. So I wouldn't say, like, I recognize that rice is unhealthier than a mango. I understand chocolate is worse than raw butter.
You eat rice?
I don't really eat it, but I'm not like, I don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
I don't really eat it.
Okay. Yeah. I ate.
Mostly due to the arsenic, I'd say.
Yeah. I think that's the worst thing. I remember I ate rice like a couple of days ago because I had a family gathering. Oh, I ate so much bullshit. I'm gonna have so much acne in like 2 weeks.
No, you look healthy.
Yeah, I know now, but like in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it's gonna be bad because I ate so much shit at this family gathering. Like I had.
What's the worst thing you ate? Rice? That's not that
No,
bad.
no. I had So it was like this beef stew with rice that my mom made, which was really nice. So I ate heaps of that, and then quiche, which is like a pie, and
Yeah.
it probably had like seed oil spray on the bottom, and then also store-bought pavlova, which is like this Australian type of meringue cake and with just regular ice cream, so like would have so less than in emulsifiers in that, so it's not very good.
No, this doesn't sound so bad though.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say getting your fat from cacao butter would be a opportunity cost if you were low on fat soluble vitamins in general. Yeah.
Oh
It's
no,
sort of
you
like
clipped it. What the?
yeah, don't clip that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I think like I'm not telling people you should eat rice. I'd say it's a very it's not optimal. That's for sure.
Mm.
It's clearly not optimal. If it's not optimal in any regard, like it's worse than honey, worse than fruit. If you do want carbs, like.
Mm.
So like Goatus is your king. Yeah, your king enjoys some Burger King. Your king is a Burger King, bro.
Did that happen?
I have this thing I notice in life. If it's a topic that is that repeated, it probably happened. So I'd say it probably did.
Okay.
Because that didn't come out of nowhere.
Like just the tip?
Yeah. If it it has to be real.
Like with Vera.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
real.
Oh, did you see that TikTok? It was like someone made about Vera, Dara, and that Never Mix girl. And it was like who's that there? Where the guy that's wearing Montclair with Dara,
Nah, bro, I'm not
Vera.
scrolling enough, bro.
You need to hop on that doom, bro.
I'm not. Yeah.
Nah, bro, I'll send it. You'll like it.
I'm sure people have fucking clipped up my recent video. Or not my recent.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of clips of it.
I mean, I would still do MDMA again before I drink like seed oils or something though. But people are saying like, yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Like okay, 1,000 grams of linoleic acid from a seed oil or MDMA, easily MDMA.
Mm-hmm.
Is healthier.
Yeah.
Easily.
Dude, you know I felt depressed for like 2 weeks after we did that.
Oh, I
was
didn't
really
even feel
weird.
that. That was like fake.
You reckon? I
Like,
felt it on the way home.
yeah, no, though this MDMA and Ibiza, bro, this was like
It was different.
this was real.
Okay.
This is real.
Gotcha.
That was some dude. The way I felt was like,
Bro, I
dude, I'll
remember.
never be that happy again in my life.
Yo, bro, remember when
That was insane.
we were at Canggu and you were like going home with this chopped ass hoe and then I saved you.
Oh shit, yeah. Yo, I was tweaking.
That was funny, bro.
She was like trying to convince me, bro. Literally.
Really?
And I was like out of it. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, check TikTok. I sent it to you. And then I came and got you, and then you were like, "Yo, thank you, bro," and then you hugged me.
Okay, I didn't even know the third girl.
Oh, the one. It's like the girl who went viral for saying never mix and stuff.
That gets people viral these days.
Like a year ago. Yeah, because people were calling her ugly and shit.
Yeah, I don't know her. Wait, what does the Vera girl even do? Just exists?
Yeah, it just exists. Yeah.
Okay. It's always good to get fame for that. Wait, why do so many people like get this? Like this has 50,000 likes. Like
I don't know. I thought it would cap at like 2K likes. Like, it's just new gens want to be in it. That's why.
There's this like growing TikTok community. I'm not really on TikTok like that, but it's. What's the ideal daily routine? Be unemployed. Have a wife. Have kids.
Wake up, swim, sunlight, then eat, then chill out, reproduce. Oxytocin max.
You gotta have. Honestly, you kind of. I think you might have to have some sort of hobby, honestly, because even if you're.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have work, like let's say you have unlimited money, like you actually have to have something else to do, even aside from family.
Yeah, true.
You need
Just
something.
to imitate hunting.
You need friends for sure.
Oh yeah.
Actual friends, but it's kind of brutal how few people will ever have a good lifestyle. To be honest, that's the truth.
Why did my Insta get banned? I don't know. I don't know, dude. But I have an account now. You guys can follow up. I'll put it in the chat.
You're not in school, right?
Nah.
You're just this is your full time thing.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How is that going well?
Yeah, it's better than school.
Okay.
It's good, yeah. It's decent.
I feel like you're very consistent. I feel like you should have more people in your school, to be honest with you.
I don't know what's going on really.
Cause like I'd say you're a pretty, like solidly large figure. I would say now.
I think
10K.
the issue with TikTok, yeah, 10K on YouTube, yeah. But on TikTok, half my comments are just people saying I'm like Eve and stuff. Kind of weird.
I mean, yeah, but same for me, right? Like,
I know.
those are just a subset of like lower IQ people.
Yeah.
It's not. So I think the math is normally like, if you have 10,000 subs, you should probably normally at least have 100 members. I would say.
Maybe it's just the front page or whatever is going on with it.
Yeah. No, but you'll get more.
Yeah.
I think you should do more reactions, bro.
Yeah, I was
I see you
actually
don't do
starting
those.
that. Reactions on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think there should be a higher proportion, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz look at it. I'd say your videos that perform the best are the reactions, like Paul Saldino, AK.
Yeah. That is true. My recent videos have been doing trash on YouTube. I think it's the thumbnails, honestly. I went a bit too AI with them.
Let me look. Like your ancestral food list is a good thumbnail. How you cleared your skin is a good thumbnail. Yeah. I think I ranked every oil from best to worst. That's a good one.
Yeah. I didn't even make that thumbnail. Someone else made it for me.
Well, you should get a thumbnail.
Oh, wait.
for sure.
Oh, no, that was me, actually. The de-bloat foods. Oh, look down, like a little bit below that one. There's de-bloat foods. I don't know why they made that thumbnail like that, but they made my skin glow so much. Like, they upped the exposure so much. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like let me look at your recent thumbnails. It's like something about the AI makes them look like low quality.
Yeah. But the most recent, the raw milk versus pasteurized, I used AI for that too, and it looks way better. I just did it
It does look
differently.
way better.
It's just different.
It does look better. I mean, I would probably remove the dead, actually. I don't think it fits well.
Okay.
You could put just a verse between the milks. Or you could put, like, a crown on the left one and, like, horns on the right one.
Okay.
Some shit like
Yeah,
that. I don't know.
Gotcha.
You can make... Yeah, just make the one on the left look better and make the one on the right look worse.
Yeah. True.
A reaction to Resident Raw's video, that would just be a 2-hour video.
Yeah, it would be a Bart
Yeah.
K one. It would be like Bart K's videos.
It wouldn't be a good video.
Nah. Dude, did you see Bart K reacted to our like initial discussion on sugar?
I did.
And he said he would do part 2, but he never did.
Ah, dang. You know, yeah. Alcohol can skew our memory. Yeah. Are you on good terms with him? Is your
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up? Okay.
I'm gonna do like a live with him on Monday.
Okay. Nice, nice.
But did you see one of? Do you know Lisa? Lisa lives or
Yeah,
something.
she switched up on the.
She
on the
switched
card,
up
yeah.
after she did like 2 lives with Bart, and then she switched up.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I
I
think
thought she was like a.
it was straight
just
after
seemed-
she
that actually
started
seemed
dating
out of nowhere.
Edelman.
The classic women follow what you do.
Yeah. No,
mean, that guy-
That's based though.
I actually, I mean, that is true. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, the guy, the Adelman Aspires guy, to me, he just seems so dislikable for some reason. I don't know why.
I think he's
In
like,
his long form videos.
oh, I've never watched his long form videos. I've only seen him do reactionary content.
No, the reactionary is like an act. He's more, it just seems like, I guess he's trying to be a coach. Something about, I don't think he knows anything that he's talking about.
No,
The
not at
YouTube
all.
video, and today
Yeah,
we're going to be
that's
discussing
it's just
the
like
top
that.
5 things
I'm gonna watch.
Like, here, watch this. It's like, it's just such a gesture, like, tone of health. Just watch, like, the intro. It's just like, you'll see what I mean.
Okay. Why I hate sludge.
If you are still consuming sludge, this is sludge. If you didn't know. This actually can't be real. This actually can't be real. I genuinely might cry. Sludge on wheels. I genuinely might cry. And you are going to probably get chronic disease. You're definitely getting chronic disease. For those who don't know what sludge is, it is
He's like out of breath.
going to be ultra processed food that is mass produced in these big factories. Absolute insanity. Where they're combining all these ultra processed, terrible ingredients into one concoction that you are probably eating every single day to ruin your health. I'm going to be going through 5 reasons why you have to stop eating this food. So listen up. If you can't
Oh, his tone is so bad. It's so hard to watch. Yeah. He thinks that from what? Oh yeah. Yeah. And then also some people who won't like it will keep watching his content and perhaps get inspired eventually. Yeah. debate whether you should take peptides and eat Burger King or just eat raw meat. Whether he should hop off those dopamine recyclers so that he can have raw milk. Yeah. No, I think I would as well, actually. All right. See you, bro. All right, chat.